Good evening, everybody. Welcome to America's Third Party, the home of the free $400 per month per U.S. adult plan. No other candidate has this. I'm the only guy who is willing to buck the unbelievable pressures of a new world order and get money to the American people. I'm standing up against globalists like Henry Kissinger, who really has an ulterior motive, and he's probably out of his mind. We don't want these people to run politics anymore, but guess who met with Henry Kissinger 2 months ago? Donald Trump. Donald Trump is absolutely in the establishment, 100%. He's gotten the go-ahead from the Illuminati to run like a good little puppet that he is. And I got to tell you, this is a disaster for the American people, because we have this one big election, 2016, to stop the tyranny of the two-party system. And I wish I could have two of me, because that's how many people need to go up against these horrible people. It's a disaster, and it keeps getting worse and worse. We need to prosecute Obama. He has violated laws with fraud. We need to prosecute Obama primarily because we've got a nightmare unfolding in the healthcare sector. We track the amount of overdrafts that are going on in the healthcare sector right now every single month. Last week we looked at the cost of healthcare crisis, ballooning out $38 billion over last year per month. And I got to tell you, the ability of our country to stop this drain is not going to happen under Trump, because he has an $800 billion plan. Now, Obamacare already has $1.5 trillion attached to it over 10 years, over and above what we've already been paying prior. Now, nobody's really liking this at all. Even the Democrats are going, well, our premiums are increasing and we're paying a lot higher deductibles. And I hear them all the time complaining about the Obamacare plan. Trump doesn't have a plan to remove Obamacare. I do, with my Prosecute Obama goal. And when we get prosecution under wraps, we can actually remove his name from the signature list. And that automatically nullifies Obamacare for 6 weeks. And then it's going to take the Republican-led Congress, because it'll probably still be Republican-led based on how bad the Democrats are running our country. We're going to get them to not push Obamacare, and then we'll just push Obamacare to the past. We'll bring the cost of health care back, roll it back to 2008 rates, and then bring on the mobile medical unit idea that is our idea, not Trump's. Now, he's taken over 10 of my ideas. He claims they're his own. But we have a real problem with the Trump campaign. They are essentially racists. Here's 13 examples of Donald Trump being racist.
Running against Donald Trump at this point is really treason to your heritage.
You know, I know nothing about David Duke. I know nothing about white supremacists. You wouldn't want me to condemn a group that I know nothing about, and I just don't know anything about them.
Wow. Caught lying.
I didn't even know he endorsed me. David Duke endorsed me? Okay. All right. I disavow, okay?
All right, good. Thanks, Huffington Post. They finally got that right.
Self. Now you can add being eco-awesome.
All right, so let's take a look and see what you guys are saying. The geniuses of DNC realize their emails are being hacked. Okay, Factivist was hacked. Here is your new password. Look at this. This is how screwed up these people are. They knew they were hacked. Subject Factivist was hacked. Here is your new password. We've been compromised, but it's all okay. And they give them a new password that's been redacted. This is unbelievable. And they send the email. They're that out of it. They could have gone to the phone and given people emails one-on-one or passwords one-on-one. Maybe they just used Hillary's password, which was non-existent. She didn't have a password. She probably had password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they both got hacked. I'm going to record that in the database. Thank you. Okay, so this story continues to evolve after she put out a fake imposter in public 90 minutes after she was hauled into a van looking blue without even being able to walk. So we know that the imposter's at play. We're not sure who this is. This could be the imposter. There's 2 of them now. Yeah, right. Hillary releases medical papers, not medical records. She's good. Oh, yeah. She releases detailed medical documents. Why on earth would a sane person believe anything coming from her campaign at this point? Her husband said today she had the flu.
Documents show about Clinton. What do we know now that we didn't know before?
You know, there's not a tremendous difference, to be honest. We know about a medication that it says she's on for a total of 10 days, Levaquin, but
For the pneumonia.
correct, I believe so. We know specifically what kind of antihistamine she's on, not just that she's on antihistamine.
You know, I'd love to see a conversation with people in the mainstream media where they just turn to each other and they say, you know, I'm brain dead, aren't you? And the other one says, oh yeah, I'm brain dead. We're all brain dead here. Would that be great? If they would just admit that they have no thought in their head that's original, they're just a bunch of bleach blonde, bubble-headed bimbos sitting there going, reading the news like they're telling something important while our country's slipping into a hole. I am not a Democratic operative. I left the Democratic Party only to be attacked by them in the 2014 election, which I actually ran a local election, whereas Trump never did. I've proven to the American people how corrupt our country is. Trump, by the way, will not prosecute Obama, and he won't give you $400 per U.S. adult. He has no plan for the economy that will actually generate you cash. He doesn't care. He's a rich guy who could care less.
Of debt. I love debt. They're prevented. I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
He just wants to borrow money and give it to his cronies. And you think that's what we need? You dumb people who want to vote for Trump? It's crazy. Well, if Hillary's in some sort of a hospice care, we're not sure where she is at this time, but if she is remediating with pneumonia, even if she's alive, we don't even know if she's alive, we're going to ask you to leave. Get the hell out of here. This is what our world is built off dreams. You're a scumbag for coming in here. Get out of here, guest 625. Hillary's plan, which is twisted and a very New World Order-ish, reminiscent of the globalists that have powered up Hillary and Donald up to this point. We all know the people that are behind Hillary and Donald and the real mental illness that is lingering beneath them. But Obama administration plans to admit at least 110,000 refugees in 2017. Now, this is something I'm not going to do. But we noticed that Trump was getting soft on the refugee plan in the last debate with Hillary. Excuse me, the last Republican debate. He actually talked about, worrying about the poor Syrians. Here's a guy who wanted to go after Obama on the birth certificate, and now Rudy Giuliani said that Trump believes that Obama was born in the United States, so he's not going to prosecute Obama. And then regarding the refugees, he's kind of a little bit concerned about the Syrians leaving Syria and all that. So expect the same thing from Trump on the refugee issue. He's going to cave into the New World Order. They just want to weaken our country, take away our services like our education funds and our medical funds, and it's turned into a disaster. Thank you. I love this tie. No, that's not true. The 400 plan is a simple way to get people to talk about our show and to get people a way out financially in the times that they're going to need. Now, $400 to a family that can barely meet their house payment will help. If the husband and the wife draw on it, they'll be able to get $800 that will go toward their house payment. Do you realize how powerful that is? That's going to buy a lot of people time. We will have solar panel jobs everywhere in the country, especially the cities. So inner city people will get jobs installing solar panels if they want to take a 6-week course. And if they don't want to do that, we've got another plan to actually save all the wasted houses in America. There's so many houses that are going to waste right now. I saw a stat that was shocking the other day. Let me see if I can pull it up. Here it is. There's 18.6 million homes in America that are empty and in foreclosure or condemned, and we could easily serve the 3.5 million people and a growing number who are homeless right now by giving them a job fixing them up, renovating them. Now, Trump and Hillary do not have this idea. I've been promoting this idea for a long time. It is the Homestead Renewal Plan, and Sarah and I came up with this in 2008. We put it in our book in 2012. It's a fantastic solution to get Americans back to work making at least $10 an hour. You have no sound? Sheriff Woody, what's wrong with your sound? So this is the heart of our jobs program in every city that'll keep city people active, working, and able to live in a house. And we've got 18.6 million vacant homes in America. I mean, hello? Connect the dots, everybody. We got a lot of potential here. Now, wasted houses make no sense at all. We wrote a book called Hybrid Capitalism. You can download it for 99 cents right now at our website. Go to AmericasThirdParty.com and click the store button, and you'll see the book right there. So let's get the big name up there for the show is myself, David Sponheim. I'm asking you to write my name in the upcoming election. I am the only true American running for president right now. Trump isn't even proud of his German heritage, so you got to wonder about that. Americans can spell Sponheim for sure. It's kind of reminds me of Anaheim, the location. 10-4. Anaheim is the place where Disneyland is located, and Sponheim sounds like Anaheim. I noticed no double chin on the lookalike. Yeah, we were watching the lookalike of Hillary Clinton the other day. Let's take a look at that picture right now. We've got a lot of stories we brought in during the pre-show tonight, so we've got a lot of good news. But we'll be bringing other news stuff as we go. As you can see, the Democrats are so stupid. They put an impersonator out 90 minutes after she was rolled into a van blue. Yeah. So there's something very, very wrong with a country that lies to its people and can't even admit that she may have died. It's scary, isn't it? So the fact that they're willing to throw somebody fake out there like that instantly makes you think that we've got a real corrupt system that is, they'll stop at nothing. We've been watching their false flaggery over the past few years. And we've seen all these events unfold, and some guy named Tsarnaev, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, is going to be killed in Massachusetts, and he never did anything wrong. They're willing to kill a young innocent man who never did a damn thing wrong. Judy Clark couldn't get him off. Thank you, ATP for Prez. Judy Clark, the famous attorney that got every single person off of the death penalty, couldn't get poor Dzhokhar off of the death penalty. He's going to be executed in Massachusetts. And he never did a damn thing wrong. He's on camera with a backpack going into the Boston Marathon attack and leaving with a backpack. Yet they said he was complicit in the death of 3 people and injuries of all these people. I think the whole thing is ridiculous. Hillary is suddenly hot. Yeah. She's now looking 20 years younger. Yeah. Well, don't be surprised if this doesn't pop up. They're going to go ahead and put her out there in the debates, this fake impersonator, and her voice is spot on. I would almost guess that she might be a robot. That's how good she is. I've never seen anybody impersonate a person's voice better than myself, except for Hillary's impersonator. Okay, so the number has been set. The Nazi Germany company Bayer, who's been very, very, very successful over the years, ever since they got all these benefits from America, now going to buy Monsanto for $66 billion. I wouldn't doubt it's $66.6 billion, and you're just, not telling me. This is scary.
Third time's a charm. Seed and pesticide giant Monsanto accepted pharmaceutical company Bayer's latest offer this Wednesday. The deal comes as the global agriculture industry is undergoing massive changes. In the past year, Syngenta was bought out by ChemChina for $43 billion, while Dow Chemical merged with DuPont for $130 billion. Consolidations that experts say are driven by falling crop prices as farmers are cutting back on buying seeds and chemicals like herbicides and...
Now, this is ridiculous. That does not represent in any way what's happening. Monsanto has been using their tools, their legal department, to sue every single organic farmer that is adjacent to a non-organic field. So if an organic farmer is using non-GMOs and they're getting away with it without buying seeds, they're then accused of cross-migrating with the GMO field, and then they are charged. And then the organic certification people say, well, you paid money out to Monsanto, you can't possibly be organic. So they're literally using all kinds of legal ploys to ruin organic and non-GMO production. So this isn't a declining agricultural industry. Bayer knows exactly what they're doing, and this Nazi German company, Bayer, has one great goal, and that is to take you down, to kill you, causing tumors in laboratory animals past 4 months. Glyphosate, the Dow Chemical and Roundup Ready product, which is the Roundup product, has been known to cause cancer. So when you see all kinds of people say negative things about me in the chat room, and you're wondering how you can even get in the chat room because they're censoring us every single day, they don't want to hear what I'm saying. I don't preach the gospel of depopulation like Hillary and Donald do. I want people to have babies. I want people to have good bodies and not go to the doctor with tumors growing in their livers. I want people to be healthy. But Monsanto and now Bayer, the Nazi corporation, they don't want people to be healthy. They want you to die, and they want to profit from your death. So you're seeing people come in right now trying to call me gay, and I'm not gay. They're trying to demoralize me on a nightly basis. It's absolutely insane how these people are operating. They want to reduce the human population. Well, let's talk about, this is not the first time people have had their faces duplicated and alternative people put in their place. Now, they didn't want to show that Renee Zellweger died. That would be deemed a homicide, and there would be an investigation. So instead, they came up with a fake Renee Zellweger, who is a few inches taller, and it's pretty obvious that this unbelievable situation is going on, and nobody's questioning it. The media doesn't question it. Nobody questions it. So they're going to put Hillary's transformative impersonator out there as Hillary, and it's just going to go on, and you're going to sit there and, just like you've been watching the false flaggery, you're going to see this whole thing take place again and again. Now, I showed you with absolute certainty that Renee Zellweger was replaced. I took her face with a new Renee Zellweger and lined them up, and I showed you exactly that there is no way anyone in plastic surgery can lower an orbital in an eye, drop a nose by 1/2 inch, and somehow lower her lip by 1/2 inch. It's not possible. So you got to understand that anyone who questions anything will be deemed a conspiracy theorist whenever you question Hillary's replacement. Yeah, they gave her 3 collarbones, I know. Different collarbone, the whole thing. Thanks, Shazbal, but words of mass extinction really don't fit the political realm here. We try to keep a clean room, so talking about the end of the world is kind of irrelevant tonight. Cleaning up your act and recycling waste, that's the way we want to talk about that. Getting rid of radiation spewing into the Pacific Ocean, which Barack Obama and Hillary and Donald don't even talk about. Getting rid of the incredible demoralization attacks on me on a daily basis is something I can do at the flip of a switch. But you got to understand, they're only trying to shut down guest chat so that all the people around the world who are watching this can't get in. You don't even know what scare tactics are coming, do you? Hillary's America the book. Interesting. Now number 1 on the New York Times selling list. Explore the shocking history of the Democratic Party. This looks really good. Thank you, Lemon. Appreciate it. Lemon Moon, everybody. The Secrets History of the Democratic Party. Whoa, this looks good. Utterly terrifying and based on a true story. Writer of The Exorcist. America at the Abyss. I've been talking about the Democrats and how they were the racists back in the 1960s. They were the ones that didn't want a civil rights amendment. The Republicans actually voted that in. Talking about people in a positive vein isn't going to help you. Trump has still dropped, he's still 10 points down to a dead person in swing states like Virginia and New York. Trump was 14 points behind Clinton last week. He's up to 10 points down in the swing states. So, talking about him moving up in the polls against a woman who probably died on Sunday is kind of ridiculous, don't you think? You didn't know Hillary would turn blue as she was entering that van the other day. Excuse me, did I say she was entering the van? As she was carried into the van with her legs dragging. She said, eyewitnesses said she was blue in the face. Well, I'm not theorizing that Hillary was cloned. I'm saying that Paul McCartney is a replacement. Why am I looking at a picture of Paul McCartney? Is he going to be playing Hillary too? Oh, okay. I guess they pulled it off the same clone. There is kind of a resemblance. Interesting. I'm very real. Yes, you can squeeze my fingers and see that I'm human. Try to squeeze them. That's not Paul. It is Paul. It is Paul. Paul McCartney. It's real hair. Okay, Gutter Trash is saying that Hillary's already dead. So I'm not the first person who's put this story out there. Exclusive from Gutter Trash. She was looking much heavier, and then within a few minutes, she lost 30 pounds and came out smiling after nearly collapsing. Well, what am I saying? Nearly collapsing. The mainstream media said she stumbled into the van. She was carried into the van blue on 9/11. I'm not muting anyone's freedom. You're demoralizing me or you're supporting another candidate, so get the hell out of here. Anybody who does that will be muted and banned and cut out of this room with extreme prejudice. You're wasting my time and others because we want to talk about the issues, not some love affair you have with Trump and his corrupt, greedy world that he lives in. You scumbags who are poorer than hell think, well, if you vote for Trump, maybe he'll make me rich. He's got 60 lawsuits against him for not paying people. Thank you for voting for me, Raspberry Girl. Not much is going on here except censorship. People have been censoring me for the past 8 years, and I'm obviously taking people out who want to hate me. So anyone who comes in supporting another candidate will be muted immediately. I'm not muting anyone's freedom of speech. Notice I didn't mute your statement. Trump hasn't sued me yet. He won't sue me. He knows that I can countersue him for intellectual property right violations. Any moron attorney would tell him, hey, look, he's got a really good case against you, buddy. He's got video proof that he's been talking about a 1,000-mile fence for 8 years, an ocean pipeline for 10 years, mobile medical units for 8 years. And I've got an endless list of ideas that have been taken from me by Trump. All right. We got a good record of muting going on. It's good I read 6,000 words a minute. Not a 1,000-mile border fence monkey time. I'm the guy that talked about that in 2008. Nobody else did the math. I actually measured it. I sat there with a vernier caliper and a map, and I sat there for about 4 hours and measured the distance that fence has to be to provide safety for our people. I then published the 1,000-mile fence idea on our website and across the internet on my videos. What does what poster say? The body doubles bigger breasts? Yes, let's talk about that. I don't have a copy of her bigger breasts right now. No, I had a good bowel movement today, but you, on the other hand, I think you are full of crap. I'm 707, your ATP. Operators standing by. We got a staff of gerbils sitting in the other room waiting to take your call. The YouTube hosts were all sold out to begin with, 563. And then you got the whole new brand of AdSense whores like that guy, you know who I'm talking about, that just, he's making money left and right, scaring the living bejesus out of people. What's his name? He was on our show for a while. Mount. Yeah. Yeah, he's making big bucks, scaring the living bejesus out of people, and they don't even know that this guy makes up things out of his butthole and puts them on the internet. It makes me sick that he sold out to the Lucis Trust Fund. It really does. He told me that he became the last member at the Lucis Trust, and I said, why are you joining a Luciferian society? And all of a sudden his hits started climbing. His AdSense dollars are coming in. He cashes checks every month now. Big bucks. Yeah. Good evening, Jackson. Welcome to the show. How many times do you have to click in here to get in here, man? So we've got real plans. Let's take a look here at the private server, private hospice. Chelsea's apartment. Oh yeah, they had a medical facility there, a state medical facility at Chelsea's apartment. So she literally moved into a state medical facility that was retired out to give her mother all the health care she could get without ever publishing her medical required information. Isn't it ironic that Obamacare requires everybody to have their health care published and put in a government record, yet Hillary was somehow exempt? You think, Frups? Vaughn is censoring me, you think? It's been going on for 9 months, man. And we're still building coalitions outside, people talking about America's Third Party left and right. It's amazing. Well, I'm not like Mount. I'm not a person who would sell out for money. I wouldn't suck up to the Lucis Trust Fund or become some sort of a satanic follower. I believe that we are desperately in need of good, honest leadership. And that's why I've been running against all odds for the past 8 years. People say, David, why don't you just give up? Nobody's that interested in you. To the contrary. I'm being talked about in homes all around the world right now. I'm going to mute you. And these people who come in here attacking us, they actually are dangerously fearful that I'm going to be successful at breaking through the media's silence and the censorship against me. Let's take a look at Clinton's fatigue.
Anything like this since the 90s.
They look so lifeless.
Well, they've been through a lot. Email scandals, questionable donations from foreign governments, cronyism, even pantsuits.
It's so awful. What's the diagnosis?
Clinton fatigue.
So sad.
Clinton fatigue, yeah. Hey, do not support other candidates here, especially Hillary. Thank you. All right, so we're going to be doing muting during the show just to keep this up. I will never give up, Raspberry Girl. Thank you. Yeah, they're attacking Jackson, too. He's remaining strong. I'm laughing because the Democrats have been not questioning Obama for the past 8 years. It's absolutely bizarre. We've got a nation that won't even begin the process of questioning the New World Order, which is run by this guy. And clearly his directive is more like this. And they won't question that. Hillary is hook, line, and sinker behind Kissinger, and now Donald Trump has met with Henry Kissinger and spent private time with him 2 months ago. Sure, let's take a look at this. The tie, isn't that nice? That was Henry Kissinger, the guy who's like 92 years old or something, or 91-ish. And he is the guy who was our Secretary of State under Richard Nixon.
It is very imperative that the human population be reduced in number. It is pretty clear that there are a lot of people that don't understand the importance of a new world order. It's really a new world order.
He's the guy that wants to take you down. He's the guy that lets Monsanto put genetically modified seeds in your body, in your food. He's the guy that wants to let chemicals be dumped on the planet, killing off the face of the earth. That's Henry Kissinger. He's 93 now? Okay. I am not a member of any commie party. Don't listen to a damn thing these people are saying. They're all lies. We call in 707 your ATP. That's the call-in number, but you can't have a blocked number to call in. They had, the invention of the Weathermaker. They've been dumping chemicals on your head. Tonight we're going to be talking about chemtrails, so don't be afraid of that. We're not going to be making up stories. You really are being sprayed on with lithium and all kinds of terrible things. The reality is these people are willing to actually go out of their way to spray the American people on a daily basis. I get chemtrails in my area every day. Yeah, you can't call Donald or Hillary. Of course, if she answered the phone and she'd be in the hospital, she'd say, at this point, what difference does it make? What difference at this point does it make? Gold's still not doing anything big, but silver is still kind of not really doing anything big. The Dow Jones is still just barely hovering over 18,000 at 18,034. We're in the doldrums, folks. The Dow will definitely breach the 18,000 mark again and go down below 18,000 shortly. So if you're bullish on the market, you may want to pull out and get bearish. No, the NPR on a fundraising drive is more like, this is Diane Reeves of NPR Radio. I'd like you to help the fundraising drive, a non-profit, advertise-free, endorsed by Monsanto and countless other programs publicly supported. Diane Reeves should never have been on radio. She should have been removed and sent to a speech therapist for eternity. She is pain on the air when you listen to her. All right, thanks. I am not an ideologue like Bernie Sanders. You're a scumbag with your head up your ass. And anybody who comes in here with any other statement about another candidate offering something else besides $400 a month, you might as well just listen to, the flat earth morons that are out there on the internet listening to the crap that the government's putting out. You know the whole flat earth thing? You know what it's called? It's called Operation Shoot the Moon. And it has been revealed in so many different ways that the government is actually putting those flat earth sites together. Their goal is to actually make you think that the earth is flat by the end of this decade. Seriously. If you're still in the belief that, well, I kind of think that maybe it's all just a hologram, you really are out to lunch. Yeah, so just don't buy the crap. The government puts out fake stories because they don't want you to really understand the truth. The truth is, you are being sprayed like an insect. That's the truth. This is a typical chemtrail in the sky. And if you're going to call it a contrail, I just want you to remind you that contrails don't drip. So when you see a chemtrail site, it's usually very good. And then you'll run into a government-created chemtrail site where they'll talk about the flat Earth. No, you're a moron. The Earth is not flat. Get out of my room. Leave. You're an absolute idiot. You're undermining the work of Copernicus, Galileo, even Bruno. The work that's been done for years, showing the movement of the stars, the cosmology of the universe. You'd have to be an absolute idiot to think the Earth is flat. You've been eating too many Cheerios. Or, excuse me, Cheerios are good for you. Sugar smacks. You know that the FDA is so into protecting your health that they actually said that Frosted Flakes have more. Thank you. Frosted Flakes have more nutrition than an avocado. That's coming from the FDA. You know, I would be willing to talk about a hollow Earth. Absolutely. There is substantial evidence to confirm that there may be something going on there. But as far as a flat Earth, forget it. Oh, don't forget Nicolas Cage, yeah, and his work with the Earth. Yeah, you can stand on enough avocados, you'll see the curvature of the Earth. No, Sarah's actually a working gal, so she comes home when she wants. I picture a brain-dead idiot standing right next to his toilet bowl or his porcelain goddess wondering when you're going to throw up from all the booze you're drinking or the crack you're smoking. Yeah, some of you just need to stop doing that. Thank you. I don't have an image of the flat Earth. I have only an image that was developed by NASA of the round Earth. Well, this has been fun so far. I mean, this is my kind of fun, I'll tell you. Well, she works at odd hours. She does whatever she wants. You know, I don't tell Sarah what to do. Yeah, how can the Earth be hollow if it's flat? Good point. Yeah, Steve Piesnik is outspoken. He's saying some things. Time for the DNC to pick a new candidate. Hillary has Parkinson's. What the Democrats and what Steve doesn't understand is they have been running false flags over the American people for so long. They're going to be able to run this fake impersonator over the entire mainstream media, and you're going to believe it. Yeah, Steve believes that they need to get a new candidate. I agree, but I think we got something way worse involved here. Lies, deceptions, mistakes. The Democrats won't admit to the failure of their bad economic plan, the ARRA, which is just giving $787 billion to corporations. Yeah. I'm your boy. I know, I'm not your boy. Yeah, purge that. I'll never forget my one of my relatives. I went all the way out to visit somebody in a certain area of the world. I won't tell you where. And this guy is this hardcore biker guy. And he showed me his motorcycle, and I was going, okay, so that's a pretty cool motorcycle. Dang right, it's cool. And then he turns to me, he said, why don't you get on it? You could be my bitch. And I got to tell you, that relative of mine is lucky he didn't get his face smeared on that pavement right there. Yeah. I was about ready to pull him down, but I would have been facing, double nickels at Chino, taking the son of a bitch down. But I won't tell you who that relative is, but I'll tell you, I have a relative that called me his bitch. No, I got the guy to pay me $1,000. Just in recompense for saying that to me. Yeah, you just heard that. Yeah, so who's bitch? He pays me $1,000, and I basically walk with the $1,000. Yeah, well, it's better than doing double nickels at Chino. I did some work for the guy, and he owed me some money, and he called me his bitch, so I said, okay, pay up what you owe. And I made a big family deal out of the whole thing that he was avoiding paying me. So finally paid me $1,000. I wasn't going to sit back and ignore that. You don't call your relative your bitch. It just doesn't work that way. And whoever that person is, they're going to pay in bigger ways. I got something else planned for him. Oh, yeah. Earth from space, real footage from one of the satellites that sits outside the ionosphere. Inside the ionosphere, I should say. Isn't that beautiful? And even has a music track. Let's salute. Well, I'm not going to say what I'm going to do, but we're definitely going to look into some things regarding his past. He may very well be arrested. Yeah, well, I think I'm Clint Eastwood. Go ahead and make my day. Yeah, got it. Oh, you don't have to come in now. Take a break. Not really. Good. No, just really.
I brought you some leftovers.
Okay, we got some food. Oh, okay, cool. That I will take. Oh, cool. I'm going to go ahead and record the chat. Sarah's going to come in and we're going to talk. Let me get a couple things out of here. Sarah's not going to prosecute Obama. I want that to be on record. I will be the one to prosecute Obama.
I think I would have too much to do with just making sure taking care of our housing situations, and
yeah,
there's just so many things that I will be spending my time.
I've got plenty of time to prosecute Obama. Don't worry. I'll be getting the Justice Department to do the initial state of the outline of the fraud case. It won't take much effort.
He was good at telling people, delegating.
Yeah, I'll delegate the office of the Justice Department to process a fraud case against him. Sarah's here. Now, we've got a little problem. We've got a lot of people who are not going to be, you don't have to click that link right there. It's the same one. He sends it all the time now. I'm just going to go ahead and turn guest chat off. And thank you. Welcome to the future. Sarah could very well be the first female president. After I'm president, of course. But we're more than willing to keep this show going through this election and on and beyond. And we've even committed to the 2020 election. And I'm committed to the idea that the American people will finally break through the censorship that our party has experienced. You can get rid of that. Actually, I've been using it as a stored image, but they couldn't spell reemerge. That really upset me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Ace of Spades, that's definitely a bannable offense. I'm going to purge you right now, but how are you?
I'm a super modest person, so.
Sarah's going to come in and talk about our $400 a month per person plan. Today is Wasteful Wednesday, so we're going to talk about getting Obamacare out of the picture, nullifying Obamacare, and we found out last week on our Wednesday show that Obamacare is costing $38 billion per month more than last year. That's a significant amount per year, and it adds up to about $1.5 trillion over 10 years, maybe even more than that. And Donald's plan is expensive too. He wants an $800 billion plan on top of Obamacare. We're going to be bankrupt beyond bankrupt. I mean, even a person who loves debt couldn't possibly handle this bankruptcy. He's already had enough bankruptcies. He couldn't possibly deal with the one that he'd want to create in America. This guy has always had somebody bail him out, Trump. It's pretty sad.
I love debt. They're prevented. I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
We don't need a person like that. I don't eat carbs.
I eat carbs.
Yeah, I got to tell you.
I did stop eating carbs for lunch.
Good, that's smart.
I mean, I'll do rice, I guess. I'll try that, but I don't eat carbs at lunchtime.
Smart. You really are.
But I do eat carbs.
So did you cook the cauliflower today when you ate it?
Nope, I just ate it raw.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
Like my lunch today was cauliflower and pineapple.
Wow, that's very healthy.
And this healthy drink.
Very good, yeah. I did have a piece of non-GMO bread. We get non-GMO bread now. We're paying in order to get it on sale, you have to get it for about $2.99 a loaf. Normally it's $5 a loaf for non-GMO bread, but we got 24 grain non-GMO bread. I did have one slice of that and a little sandwich with some cucumbers and a little bit of sliced low-salt turkey meat in it. And I had a nice salad from organic vegetables, and I swear I have the slowest metabolism on earth. I really do. And I've been shocked at how slow my body processes food, and it's difficult because I don't do anything to cheat. I'm not a cheater. I don't go out of my way to overeat. But I'm still doing okay. I hold my weight eating the way I do. Very low carbs. Okay, you get to talk to a room without haters. Thank you so much. I'll be right back.
How cool. Oh, shouldn't I open the other chat rooms?
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Yeah, David didn't do that. So if you're wondering, like, David, why aren't you saying hi to me? Why won't these people ever answer my questions? It's just because David only opens the Vaughn Live chat room, and then he goes and he'll be like, oh, I'm going to cast at multiple sites, and then he'll say, wait, why aren't these people like watching at these multiple sites? Well, because they got tired of you not answering their questions there. How old is your child, Turnkey? I think David thinks that that's the case as far as vaccines and autism. I'm not totally convinced, but I personally think that Asperger's, by the way, is high functioning, and that there's a lot of intelligent children with Asperger's. So I don't think that I don't think that you should like feel like everything's horrible if your child has Asperger's. I think that, and I kind of think that it's kind of like a lot of kids, it's just how they relate to others and his social skills. And those take a lot, and some kids, especially, I think they'll be just fine. That's what I think. Like kids can turn out just fine with Asperger's. That's funny. Haha, Dr. Meow. Alright. You're strong. You mean that line from Marky Mark? I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, so just FYI for your information, if you are over at iVlog, I'm opening the chat to you. And then I'll open up YouTube. Yes, sometimes children with Asperger's do make incredible programmers, computer programmers. They relate to people differently than others. Not a big deal. You're joking around with David. Alright, cool, Zellfire. Alright, I'm going to now open up. She's already doing programming. See? And she'll find the people that she can relate to. That's how I would say. And if she has a diagnosis, just make sure the school knows that she has a diagnosis, and you can actually get more assistance that way, I would say. More help, and make sure that she has accommodations that are good for her. Hello, Mad Dog. So is she familiar with code.org, Turnkey? What kind of programming is she engaged in? I really like that code.org site. Code.org/learn. It's really good for teaching people some basic programming. And then Google has a programming one. It's a program on the MIT Scratch. She's probably doing Scratch, right? So definitely, if she's doing Scratch, have her check out this site. And then also, there's another one. Oh, Trinket. I think it's trinket.io. Once she masters the... Let me see if this is it. Oh, and this one is really cool. It's, I think it's pretty cool. And then another thing I would recommend, Turnkey, is she's 8 years old. Have you looked into, see if there's a program, especially because of those social skills issues, see if you can find a this is expensive, whereas code.org is free, Trinket's free, but if you're willing to spend some money on her programming and encourage that, this is robotics for, well, 8-year-olds. Yes, well, they have a program called Junior FLL, and so have her check out that. It does cost money, like $300 to form a team for Junior FLL, $1,400 to join a First Lego League team, which is 9-year-olds to 14-year-olds. But what's kind of cool is she might meet friends that are more like her. Well, and the $300, it's to buy this kit with lots of, does she like doing Legos or just like sitting on the computer? That's the question. Because the $300 is for this kit with Legos. So, and Legos can be expensive. If you have bought Legos, you know what I mean. Oh, so she's mostly on the CPU. Then if she doesn't like putting things together like Legos, just, if you don't, try Legos. If she doesn't like putting it together, then don't go with the First Lego League. If she likes that a lot and likes building things, then look into the First Lego League, because it might be a way for her to meet people who like programming with her. Yeah, it's amazing how expensive Legos are. Your kids scored a touchdown last week. Your son built a Lego castle. Yeah, you had to stop buying Legos. I hear sometimes you can get them at like garage sales, or I don't think you can find them at thrift stores, but sometimes you can. The Lego League is a really good start for robotics. It's true. But I also, hi, really nice guy. But I would say even just as good is code.org/learn, or they have this code studio there, which is really good. And especially if she's a girl, she would like code.org, because they have, like, I'm not saying that the boys don't like it too, but they have, oh goodness, what are those princesses? They have this princess coding one. Do you know that song? Let it go, let it go. You guys know, you might know the movie more than I do. Snow something or something like that. Anyway, if you know that movie, Elsa and someone else from that movie are in there. You're laughing because you know exactly what I mean. So definitely have her check out Anna. Frozen, exactly. You guys got it. You're all on top of it. I don't think I have even actually seen Frozen, but Anna and Elsa, they have like programming with Anna and Elsa on the code.org/learn site. So that's pretty cool. And then of course they have Minecraft, which is good for both boys and girls. And I mean, boys can like Frozen too, but I'm just saying, kind of, you know, the boys will like it and girls will love it, which is pretty cool. So those are some of the things I recommend. Now, people that are even younger can do this thing called Lightbot, which is really, really easy, simple programming. Sometimes they go on that MIT programming site, the Scratch one, they try to introduce students to that, or young people to that Scratch, and then they end up just playing the games that other people created rather than doing any programming of themselves for themselves. So you have to kind of actually watch that, make sure they're not just going, I'm programming, but I'm really just playing a game. Oh, the female teachers didn't like you. Sorry, Blue Medic. All right. She's made a few programs. Nice. David could do a Lego building show, except I don't have any Legos. There's an online Lego thing, which is I forget what it's called, but it's like an Lego emulator or something like that. And you can build them, and it's kind of almost like, what is that, Google CAD drawing? It's kind of like that. There's a Mindstorm simulator. Ooh, that's pretty cool. The Lego castle was better than Nintendo. Nice. Yeah, a good Lego kit does cost hundreds of dollars. Now, the first Lego League, which is for 9-year-olds to 14-year-olds, that can cost like $1,400, but that includes these competitions that kids go to. Lego does make you think. You can follow the plans, and you don't have to follow the plans. Sometimes you have to follow the plans, and sometimes you can change the plans, which is pretty cool. I used to like Lincoln Logs when I was a kid. I think I don't know if I even had Lego. I had the off-brand of Lego, whatever that was. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, alright, anyway, enough about programming, but I would say that don't worry about someone that has mild autism, aka Asperger's, because really it's just that the children that have that process things differently, and there's nothing, I would say, truly wrong with them. Not mega blocks, but there is another thing called blocks, which is pretty cool. Oh yes, there's actually, what's cool, Sheriff Woody, there's a Oregon Trail simulation game. You can still play. It's the old-fashioned one that you and I played when we were a kid. You can still play it on, as long as you're not using the Chrome browser. You have to use like IE, but it's pretty cool. I still like that Oregon Trail game. It was very cool. I never had a Sega Genesis. I didn't really have any what are those called, consoles growing up. My family wasn't very wealthy. I mean, I played on an Atari console when I went over to like a friend's house, and it was more like an acquaintance, not a good friend. But that was pretty cool, Atari. And then, is that the one that first? Oh, maybe it was. I also did a Nintendo because we did Super Mario Brothers. So I played on a Nintendo, played Super Mario Brothers but it was never at my house. It was always at a friend's house. And then my brother, they told my brother could benefit from computers, so they got a computer. And then I did the Oregon Trail when I was at the end of 6th grade. Then I went to summer school, and I did really basic programming. I don't even know what it's called, but we had the big floppy drives that were like, they move like that because they're floppy. The big with the 3.5s, like they were that big, which were pretty cool. And then anyway, and then we got a computer at my house. I did the really old AOL dial-up. I know. my dad was saying, you know, the dial-up where you had to like type out everything you wanted to say on a bulletin board or anything, and then you dial up to upload it really fast and download other things, and then you turn off your connection because I am old. I did not realize that, but I am old. Oh, cool, Hooded Menace. Well, with the dial-up, it was, yeah. And then I remember the bulletin boards back in the day. But that's when I was a teenager, I guess. And then I met David on VP Excite. Yeah, I've been knocked off the modem before. It's been funny. Sheriff, would you remember this? Is this me? You remember you got in trouble for posting on the boards? That's funny. Oh, what is it? Is it clicking? All right. Oh, the dial-up noise. Yes. Are they even... Is it playing? Oh. Yeah. That was the old dial-up noise. Yeah, totally. The green. Oh goodness. Seriously, the old dial-up modem. That is so funny. Yeah. Oh, and then my, oh, it's again. Oh, alright, enough with the dial-up. Ha ha ha, you missed that sound. Except you don't miss the slowness of the interactivity. Take it slow with the frozen treats this summer. Oh, thanks, Real Shrimp, for information. Oh, goodness. That's cute. Funny scissor fight. I am pretty happy. And you are Vans. I did forget to put it on the screen, but that's fine. Oh, you shotgun 2 modems for double the speed? I don't remember those days. Alright. You logged off of here and it took you 10 minutes to get back in? Huh, I wonder why that was. Maybe I muted you. Or maybe David muted you. Because I think a mute lasts 10 minutes. Or maybe you just have dial-up. That could be the case as well. I don't think he was being naughty. I don't know why you would be muted. I don't know if you were muted. AOL, you got mail. Thanks, Scissor Fight. I don't think I even had the You Got Mail very long. I don't think I had that going on. I think we went to Earthlink or something like that. Something like that. I can't remember all those, but it's been fun, and it's just, now I'm really glad that we have the internet because I like being connected. It's amazing. All right, how did we get on this conversation? Let's move on to news. So, your logging off was your point of service provider, and then the 10 minutes to get back into the channel is another story. I don't know what happened. Thank you, Floyd Wall. Update from Clinton's doctor. The Democrat is, quote, fit to serve, they claim. So she released an updated review of her physical fitness and details about her recent bout of pneumonia. Wow, this pastor? So a pastor supposedly hosted Trump and then interrupted him to stop him from attacking Clinton. But it's in a church, so that church better be paying some taxes. Because churches are not supposed to be promoting candidates. I hope that FCC and IRS get wind of this information and get after that church, because churches are not supposed to be promoting candidates. It goes with separation of church and state. Oh yeah, Net Zero was pretty good. I remember that. Oh, interesting. So you were always like a hacker kind of person? The real Trump? That's funny, Sheriff Woody. So Uber has robot cars that are hitting the street in Pittsburgh. Wow. Robot cars can drive all night long. Oh, New York wanted to build a smart city, and so they had an experiment where they let people browse the internet from public terminals on city streets, but they ended it because it says, have you thought about porn and privacy? Yeah, I know. Well, I guess sitting active presidents are allowed to do anything. Well, not anything, but a lot. Dr. Malik include campaign for their choice of candidates. But yeah, they should be doing their job. I wish we weren't on the brink of war with Russia. Okay. Let me see. Is chat slow? Well, it's not as active. How about that? Hello, DGS Love. You remember Super Mario? You do it. A hit of acid when you reached a new level. Dial up for the win. Okay, Obama slams Trump's appearance on Russia Today and compares Putin to Saddam Hussein. What is wrong with this person? Oh, goodness. Wow. Well, of course we might be going on the verge of war with Russia if we continue to have Obama in office. Get him out now. Holy moly. What is wrong with him? A lot. A lot is wrong with him. Yeah, I realize the magnitude of this character that's our current president does need to be stopped. He should stop opening his mouth. You should not say any, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Especially about foreign leaders. It's ridiculous for him to say anything negative about other people. Like, how to stir the pot. Let's see if we can stir up a war with an opposing superpower. I did get a new, in February I got a new computer for myself. Or maybe it was last Christmas. I got my MSI laptop. Well, we should be nice to people is what I would say, Turnkey. Yeah, I really like it. We had some issues at one point with the XSplit working on it, but it works now. You're funny, Space Hamsters. Business today. Business Sarah today, yes. Oh yes, David reports the body doubles of Hillary Clinton. Well, maybe they've got a body double for her, and maybe that's who will be the actual candidate, is whoever her body double is. Maybe her body double will have better ideas than she does. As long as her body double doesn't start comparing Putin to other people. Awesome. Yeah, Turnkey, keep me informed. And I hope all goes well. Make sure that her school knows about her diagnosis too, and see if there's any accommodations that need to be made for her. So, yeah. Take care. Yeah, the alleged body double does look thinner and younger. It's true. Metal Spawn, you think the body double is the one with pneumonia? Oh, and here's all the pictures of her possible body double. Thanks, Gonzo River. David will love that. It'll be his favorite thing to do all night long, is show Hillary's body doubles. It doesn't really look like, it's true that it doesn't really look like her body double. Oh, this is pretty interesting. I wonder if they have other pictures. Oh, they just have those. Just like 4-6 pictures. They're pretty interesting. I don't know why my show keeps cutting out every few minutes.
Let me tell you what happened last night. And it's happened 2 days in a row now.
Well, it always happens at 8:15. We start to lag.
Well, there's more than that. There's a situation where at 1:30 in the morning, 1:20 in the morning, for 2 days straight now, our internet connection has been shut off. I haven't told you because you were asleep at the time, but we've had massive DDoSing at 1:30, so we never have finished a show. We would normally go till 2 in the morning. Past 2 days, we've been knocked off at 1:20, and the whole internet shuts down for us. I can't go in and watch a Netflix show or anything. It's just completely off. I try not to read anything he writes.
Okay.
Because it's irrelevant. if you spend any time reading what he writes.
I'm not writing
No,
anything.
it'll come out to about 15 minutes of your life will be wasted. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Maybe our ISP is throttling us because we cast on like 4 different channels simultaneously. So maybe that's what's happening.
You got mail with Edwards. Wow. I'll take a look at that. AOL, the old AOL sound. So I made some artichoke and half of a burger patty and a Yukon Gold potato.
Nice. Thank you.
It's in the kitchen for you. And I had a slice of your wonderful pizza. So I do eat carbs. It's all good. Thank you, Sarah, for helping out here. Welcome, chatters. Yeah, come on in. Thank you. And Sarah's low-carb lunches have really helped her. No, it's not a news tie. This has been around since the beginning, since 2008. Actually, 2010, my friend gave this to me. Well, he's not really a friend. I mean, what can I say? Gary Johnson doesn't pay for this, Dr. Meow. We are censored. They don't give third-party candidates out there free airtime except for Gary Johnson. They want a buffoon to run as a third-party candidate. I shut the guest chat off, guest 656, because Sarah is in no need of this kind of BS after a hard day at work. So are you going to keep posting that link until I actually show it on the screen? Oh, it's another link. I'm sorry. Age test. Here we go. A retro Wednesday. How many of these do you remember? Cap guns. I remember cap guns. I used to have cap guns when I was 7 years old. Home milk deliveries in glass bottles. Yeah, I remember that. They still do that in some areas in our country. TV test patterns early in the morning. Yep, I remember that. Curb finders for your car, little antenna things that you can, your car touches the curb. Boy, I really wish I had those now because I've been curbing one of our Honda Insights and it's like freaking me out. I actually went out there and ground down the aluminum rim with a grinding wheel and an electric drill because I kept scuffing it against a curb. Stamp books and redemption centers. Yeah, I mean, I remember when my mother bought a lawnmower with green stamps in 1966. A lawnmower, a full-on gas-powered lawnmower, better than anything you have today in the market. They were amazing when they first came out. Phone booths. Oh, yeah. We still have a couple phone booths on the island here, I think. Aluminum ice cube trays and with pull handles. Oh, yeah, those are the good old days. Subway tokens, for those of you on the East Coast. Crazy Eddies. I never got into Crazy Eddies. Earl Scheib, $29.95. I'll paint any car, any shape, for only $29.95. Earl Scheib was quite the guy. Mobile rides that came around the neighborhood. I didn't get that. Do you live at Disneyland? Or free road maps at service stations? Oh, yeah, boy, those were really handy. Seltzer bottles, yeah. They still make those, I think. Doctors who made house calls. I never had a doctor who made a house call. I didn't live in a rural area, I guess. Cigarette vending machines. I can't believe they don't have those still. I mean, seriously? They got rid of cigarette vending machines in bars? I haven't been to a bar in a long, long time. And flash cubes. Oh, yeah. The Polaroid days when flash cubes were the big thing. You know, we've all kind of shared a lot of American history. I am an expert on Americana. I've spent my life, my avocation, Earl Scheib's. They'll paint your entire car, including your windows there, duct tape. Earl Scheib. They'll paint all your windows. It costs money to have it taken off. Well, I've seen, they removed them in the 70s. I didn't know that. I've seen so many different changes, as you have, that I'm shocked to see us completely fall into this category of picking a television celebrity versus a woman who cannot tell the truth. She spends her time lying, and now the biggest deception. Hillary has been replaced. Yeah. She reemerged 90 minutes later looking 10 years younger. Look at that. So we don't even know who they're going to be running. And the Democrats won't admit that she's, that sick, that she's probably nearly comatose or possibly dead. 54 days away. We've got a lot of people that we can still reach. And by telling people about America's Third Party, you're instantly doing the work that we need. It's a word-of-mouth campaign we've been doing. Ford built a factory in Mexico, created 2,800 jobs there. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen, guess 384. The fact that they've been doing it, and they've been getting away with it, and they even still get the outsourcing credits, tax credits for doing that. Obama never got rid of outsourcing tax credits, by the way. That's a little factoid you can remember. We're seeing a general tremendous exodus of jobs from our country, and the two parties will not address these issues. Instead, we get these fake candidates running. I can't believe that I'm even talking about a fake Hillary right now. But I've been discussing the robot Hillary for about 2 years now, so I guess I might as well go into that discussion. We've got ways of cutting the cost of labor. Obviously, automation is the key way. To ignore automation would be foolish. Our economic rebuild will involve automation. I'm planning on building a U.S. auto corporation in Detroit, Michigan. In the current plants that the General Motors have retired, I want to take and convert some of those to making one particular vehicle, a hybrid that gets 100 miles per gallon and costs less than $15,000. 4 passenger seating, airbags, front passenger, rear, side, and even making a powertrain that we could sell for $8,000 to companies that want to customize it. Now, there are guys in our room who come in like Dupster, who is so talented with a welding torch. This guy has converted 10 or 15 cars in the past couple years from completely disposable cars to a bottom-up restoration, and he makes lots and lots of money doing it. And he's the kind of guy who would actually be able to customize a powertrain and build a car. So the advent of this technology and U.S. Auto Corporation guaranteeing a base component that's affordable, kind of like Ford did with the Model T and the Model A. We do that, and we will begin to see customization, businesses, privatization grow from a simple core government idea that's affordable and secure, guaranteed. If we can pull all the kinks out of the lineup and build these cars pretty locally, as opposed to Priuses and Hondas, these cars are shipped from all around the world. To build the cars locally, and you will see jobs created in that region. I guarantee it. So you're thinking my color contrast is off? Okay, let me go for that. Thank you. Thanks for alerting me to my contrast settings. Thank you. Isn't that a great idea? So this is something you won't get from Trump. And the fact that we're all trying desperately to deal with the economy is a huge, big plus. People are trying to conserve on their costs. Good evening. Welcome. Yes, you're in the show. And we've got guest chat activated, which is cool. Sure. I'll do an overlap of Hillary's face over mine. Absolutely. Thanks. I don't want any don't get the wrong idea. I'm not actually trying to do a transgender look here. The fake Hillary, the real Hillary. I'm not feeling very good. I think I have a headache. And then the fake Hillary. I'm feeling so perky today. What difference at this point? At this point, what difference does it make? Sorry. Yeah, well, we can do a lot of things. We've got technology, and I don't mind sharing it with you, being it's free. You know? Should I do a Hillary impersonation for Halloween? What do you think I should go as Hillary? That was good, man. That was the most fun I've had all night long. What is an HRC stand-in? Poison? Yeah. Well, the fact that I have to ask you, I'm going to purge you anyway. I don't have a costume. I've got a Trump wig from last year that I don't want to waste. And I've got to take and cut it down because it was horrible. So I'm going to have to style the wig. I was thinking there's a couple options. I could go as a Hillary, female, but I can't get that hair. I've got one wig I could customize to get close to it. And then I've got terrible waste of a wig, though, to get that hair. That's just... And then I've got this idea of doing a Mexican Donald Trump, you know. So I don't know how that would work. And then there's My Favorite Martian. And I can order online I can order the antenna for My Favorite Martian. You're going to go as Franksheim. Some of you will go as me. That's not bad. I don't want to waste any time right now because it's Wasteful Wednesday. I want to use every cent of this time. Your dog can explain Hillary's shortcomings. Why should we vote for you? Okay. Well, we have a great plan for fixing the country. Let's start with that. The ultimate plan, of course, the first thing I'll do is legalize marijuana, which will help spawn new businesses. People create edibles and medicinals and all kinds of things. And it embraces the state legalization plan and surpasses it in many ways because it'll be a lower cost for marijuana even in those states. Washington won't be allowed to charge 42% value-added tax. None of the states will have a value-added tax. Their whole program will stop. We will give them money back from our 15% tax per capita. So Oregon, Washington, Colorado will get money back. New York will get money back. Every state in the union will get money back per capita, depending on how many people they have in their state. All right, so this is a big, huge move that Donald and Hillary will not do. And I'm more than willing to step in this direction immediately because we've got a lot of other work to do, like our homestead renewal plan, which I talked about earlier. We're taking 18 million houses that are currently foreclosed and fixing them up. And this is a plan to actually create jobs that are $10 an hour, painting walls, doing a little carpeting. The journeyman plumbers and carpenters and electricians will be getting $25 an hour. Average workers will be getting $10. And that's just to get people out there to do things that are done right. We don't want to do these things wrong. We want to meet code in every area we do this. And the government's going to essentially flip houses. I'm going to take existing money in our HUD system and convert it over right away. We got $4 billion to work with initially. I don't need congressional support to do this. We'll start in Detroit because Michigan already has a law that allows us to buy up properties in bulk. And the state of Michigan can do it. We then turn this flipping house business into an ongoing affair until we get all these 18.6 million houses that are completely in disrepair renovated. Then we have another plan immediately to bring our troops home and end the Federal Reserve. Now, that plan will require Congress, the plan to end the Federal Reserve, but I can begin bringing our troops home as soon as problems in the Middle East are resolved. Now, I have a safe zone idea that I came up with in 2009, which Donald Trump claims is his, and we will be implementing that in Iraq and Afghanistan according to the wishes of the Iraqi and Afghanistan government. We're not going to push ourselves on them, but we'll work with them to create safe zones that will be a long-standing and long-term solution for the problems overseas. I hope you're with me. As we end the Federal Reserve, we will be building an infrastructure bank which will power up business in America, offering 2% loans to U.S. businesses hiring U.S. citizens at a living wage of $15 an hour. Now, I'm sidestepping the minimum wage law problem. I'm still in favor of a $10 minimum wage, but as you can see in some states, even Seattle, it's like a ghost town now. The $15 an hour wage increase has caused businesses to shut down. No, I'm not an aristocrat. I'm not a bureaucrat. I'm not part of the bourgeoisie. I'm part of the average Americans. and I'm not a communist. Yes, and you can keep your 62-year-old Social Security benefit retirement earned income. I don't plan on phasing in a 70-year-old extension on retirement. That's a mistake. I talk to a lot of people in their 60s, and they're getting tired. They don't want to keep working. And you know, our country really shouldn't be about you working till you're dead. It should be about you enjoying a cleaner and better country. And what we're seeing right now is the elitists who control the two parties will not bring the troops home. They want to make money on all these wars. They also want to kill people because they don't want people. They've even said they want depopulation. No, I'm not getting a newer one. I'm too focused, Lot Lizard, to get a new woman in my life. I'm not a plutocrat. In fact, Donald Trump is a plutocrat. Gary Johnson is a plutocrat. All these people that are making money in today's economy are plutocrats. If I was a plutocrat, you'd be dealing with a person who has a vested financial interest in this effort. I don't. I have no materialism whatsoever in my life. I made a vow of poverty when I was 18 years old, and I've been living in that world ever since. I can't say it's easy, but it's a good place to be because I don't have to worry like so many other people who live way beyond their means. Like you know who. I think you're pretty clued in on that one.
I'm the king of debt. I love that. They're prevented. I'm the king of debt. I love that. They're prevented. I'm the king of debt. I love that. They're prevented. I'm the king of debt. I love that.
We don't want to be like him, and we don't want our country to be like him either. We're never going to get out of the debt if we remain like him. We'll never get ahead of our assets and bring our assets back. Now, if we get rid of the Federal Reserve, we will build that infrastructure bank, and we will be able to create enough money to get you $400 a month per U.S. adult. But I'm also looking at another option to go through the executive branch to get this emergency money ready for the American people. We are looking at about $400 billion. Now, that's to start. The numbers show it's almost double that, but what we are going to be doing is getting rid of welfare, because the free $400 per month per U.S. adult actually replaces welfare. Nobody will be getting their welfare checks, but every adult in the family will qualify for a food stamp card, which will be essentially turned into a $400 value per month. And if they don't use it at all, it will disappear. If they do use it, it'll carry over from month to month. So you'll have like a little savings account there if you are using it. Now, if you're a Wall Street executive, that's like a win-win. You're going, well, I might as well just use it for a buck. I'll buy a pack of gum or something with it, and then it'll accrue. So you'll sit there and you'll watch your $400 turn into $800, $1,200, $1,600, $2,000. You'll be in 4 or 5 months sitting on enough money for a car in case you're living out of your sleeping bag as a stockbroker. So a lot of things are possible. No, I'm not the man from Atlantis, although I am one hell of a swimmer. I will say this, that I actually took on lifeguards when I was 10 years old. I swam against 2 lifeguards and beat them in a pool. It's pretty impressive. I've got a tremendously fast swimming stroke. I never competed. I was never pushed into, kind of a competition mode, but I can definitely swim fast. No, at this point I'm not wearing Speedos, but I plan on wearing Speedos someday when I'm in the White House. I can't exactly swim totally naked in the White House, can I? I'll lose all my privacy that I have in my luxurious private spa, which I built for $6,000, by the way. I'm pretty impressed about that. I do the freestyle, and I can do about 5 strokes in the spa right now. I've got 5 of them mastered, actually. They're really good physical exercises. They use all your body muscles, and you can do them on your back or forward. It doesn't matter. At today's prices, at 16, you worked out after school equivalent of $400 a month. There you go. Well, this will be kind of like a little benefit for some of you who are savers, but we kind of anticipate people using the money in the economy, and rolling out $400 a month will definitely help fuel a growth economy. We are already stagnating economically. You know that, right? It's been a bad year. We've got Dollar Store, Dollar General talking about the worst month they've ever had last month. I plan on having the best looking corpse in the morgue, yeah. It's really, really important to me to be the best looking corpse in the morgue. Okay, Battle of the Presidential Body Doubles. I think I saw this earlier, but let's take a look at it. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
From being literally loaded into a van to a peppy rebound a couple of hours later.
Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you very much. The speed of Hillary Clinton's recovery was too much for some.
It was not Hillary. Sorry.
And thus was born #Hillary's body double. Believers say she resurfaced looking slimmer and younger. Personal trainers hate her. She lost 30 pounds in 2 hours with this one simple trick, though the photo on the right is an old one. Some found it odd she reappeared without her entourage.
Nobody is around her. Well, why not?
The Secret Service was there, just hanging back. The body double believers pointed out physical differences, saying the real Hillary's index finger is longer than her body double's. Along with side-by-side photos, one person tweeted, "Now I understand the Stronger Together slogan.
We are stronger together."
If Hill can't do it, her body double can." A Hillary supporter joked she has 2 body doubles to explain differences in photos. One is named angles and one is named lighting. Other Hillary fans were stunned. Think I may have seriously underestimated human stupidity. Next thing you know, Hillary supporters doubled down with #Trump's body double.
All right. I think Jeannie Most has the most interesting face I've ever seen. Isn't she something? I don't know, man. Okay, let me get back in the chat. See, with me, you get the glasses and the look, and I'm ever ready. I don't have Parkinson's and no seizures. I think Jeannie Mo's voice is the best. She's way better than, yeah, whatever. Body double Hillary looks doable. Guess 438's fantasizing about the future or the existing presidential candidate. So let me ask you, in all earnest, do you really, would you be willing, some of you Democrats, because I know we've got a few lying in the room here, would you be willing to vote for Hillary even if she is obviously a fake, although they don't admit it in the news? Some of you know she's a fake, right? I'm not a Democrat, so I can't even answer that. But some of you Democrats, I know you're lingering in the room. You can just, would you still vote for her even though you knew she was a double? It's just a question, because they had a question recently. If somebody were to chip you, 1/4 of the population would say they're okay with microchipping their brain. I couldn't believe 1/4 of the country wants to microchip their brain. I was shocked when I heard that stat. Well, you don't want to commit? Okay. No one wants to admit they're a Democrat in here. That's cool. I'm glad I've got a lot of independents here anyway. Well, you can put 2 browsers and watch 2 different people at the same time, dude. Yeah, can you imagine wanting to chip your brain? No thanks. So I'm looking for a My Favorite Martian hat, and it's ridiculous. A skull cap costs $299. I can't afford it. And there's nothing available on eBay. I have to make my own antennas, and that sucks. And I have to go dig through a garbage can at maybe Amazon has something. There we go. That'll work. Okay, $4.99 Martian Bee antennas. They're not the same. I want what I want, and I want it now. No, they look stupid. I want the ones that look like his antennas. You know who I'm talking about, My Favorite Martian. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a Mexican Donald Trump or a Hillary impersonation, because I do kind of, my nose is similar to Hillary's. We're probably related. Oh, come on, it's Halloween, for crying out loud. Can a guy have some fun? And I'm wasting some time here so I can be Wasteful Wednesday all I want. It just blows me away. You want me to be Mr. Terrific all the time. You know how many hours I have to apply cake makeup to my face? It's not easy, I'm telling you. That would be one hell of a mask, man. That would scare anybody. I don't know who it was. Somebody did it in Photoshop. A dress up as you, Lot Lizard? I don't think so. I mean, I don't normally dress as a transgender, so dressing as Hillary would be really difficult. I've never cross-dressed. Excuse me, I did do something similar. I will absolutely admit to that. But you'll read about it in my book, my autobiography. It's almost bizarre what I had to do as a young man. But anyway, I'm not going to hold anything back. You're going to get the tell all. And I really am, trying to be as fair as possible when referring to transgenders. I'm not a transgender. I'm in no need or desire. But there are people out there that would love to dress up as Hillary. Dress up as Osama bin Laden. No, I don't think that's a good move. Hey, are you taking the GPS out from the U.S. passport? Yes. And from the EID program. Yeah, I will not allow GPS. The RFID system that's in play with the EID program and the passport, in my opinion, is abridgment of your freedom. It gives the ability of a technology to track your whereabouts at all times. Unbeknownst to you, you're being seen from up above. And that's sad, it really is. You know, that's the best move. I think half Hillary, half Donald would be the most incredible. If I could pull it off like I looked like a robot, that would even be better. Exactly, but the point I'm making is you're being tracked. Now, if you pull your cell phone battery out of your cell phone, you no longer have any access. Nobody could track it or triangulate it. The FBI director, cover up your webcam, he says. Now, this is coming from a guy who just refused to prosecute Hillary Clinton on the worst, most heinous acts of purposely hiding her emails. Jim Comey is now saying cover up your webcam because people can see in. The head of the FBI on Wednesday, putting a piece of tape over his personal laptop's webcam, defended the idea, claiming the security step was a common sense one that should be taken. You know, this is probably very true. James Comey is right about there. There's some sensible things you should be doing. Especially if your kids are on the internet at night or during the day, they should have an internet. They have these little sticky things you can sit right on top of your camera. You can get them at Best Buy, and they have a little screen on them. I'd like to see one with a timer on it or something. Third Party paid who off was on the internet yesterday. Newsflash. Woman suing vibrator maker for tracking usage through an app. Wow. Interesting. So the vibrator is seeing how many times it's being used, and she's suing them, yeah. Zuckerberg had any ideas? I didn't know he had any original ideas. I thought he stole all of his ideas. Oh, okay. There's a guy who believes that Mark Zuckerberg actually took the idea of Facebook from him. He claims he was producing a website and he contracted Mark Zuckerberg to do this. And he's still out there. He's fleeing the country. They say they're trying to extradite him on charges or something. He really believes that he contracted Mark Zuckerberg for a website called Facebook, and he said the guy stole the idea. Well, there was that $168 million payout to those twin brothers from Harvard. Was it Harvard? What about companies starting tax breaks 5 years later? You can definitely get tax breaks. All of the original concepts for our startup, for our economy, were based on the simple concept of less government regulation. So startups won't be facing the income tax requirements that a normal business would normally face. We're going to make sure that they're not going to have to pay all the fees and duties, because most businesses are shutting down within a year and a half of starting. Nearly 90% of all businesses go under a year and a half later. So we've got a lot of problems without, a lot of these businesses get crushed by all the costs, licensing, excise taxes on the equipment they use. A lot of these things could be waived. We could have like a moratorium on small businesses. No, I'm not talking about big companies. I'm talking about small businesses. Big companies like Zuckerberg created would be facing a huge amount of money back pay that they would owe. They've already been taking money overseas. In fact, it's been noted that $3.5 trillion have been invested by our companies in America overseas. In the Luxembourg and the Netherlands, they've been shielding their tax debt. And we've lost in America close to $600 billion worth of assets in terms of taxable assets coming back from these companies, from all the business they have, either American or international business. So one of the reasons why I came up with the 10% flat tax, which is a good transition here, is we believe that a 10% flat tax will bring companies in. I want to charge 10% on income over $100,000, meaning you can bring $100,000 taxable, non-taxable income into this country. And any American who's worried about their taxes every April 15th can stop worrying, because most of you will not have to pay taxes in this plan. It makes life a lot easier. And this is the flat tax, if you're asking people what it is. So flat tax, 10% on income over $100,000. So even churches will have to pay this. Nonprofits like United Way will have to pay this. That's a huge amount. But churches can pay it per parish. Nonprofits will have to pay corporate taxes on income over $100,000. That's going to be huge for United Way. But these people have been robbing our tax dollars for years. They use their position to avoid paying taxes. And they've been bribing public officials through various means, either super fund and super PAC donations, or possibly trips to the Bahamas. Let me talk about a company I'd like to put into the microscope here, Caterpillar. Recently said they're going to fire 5,000 employees, and they're downsizing. That company took $7 billion from the TARP funds. When they first got money, that was one of the too big to fail companies that got money. They got $7 billion. And this was supposed to be for job growth in America. They went overseas, and get this, they invested $1.5 billion in a Madagascar aluminum mine that didn't even exist. And they lost $1.5 billion of the $7 billion we loaned them. And what's worse is the CEO didn't even get fired. Lot Lizard's asking, why do most CEOs happen to be Jewish? Valid question. Jews have been positioning themselves all around the world to get money. It's one of the common things that we're being censored. 86 viewers is nothing. We have many more viewers around the world. But Jewish people have been positioning themselves in places where they can make a lot of money, because that's what they're taught as kids. Even through the bar mitzvah process, they're actually encouraged to play a game where they kind of cheat each other out of money. And it's just the way it is. You can't spite people for wanting to better themselves. Or you can, I suppose. But they're not the problem. Jewish people are not the problem. It's Zionism that's the problem. We need to make more opportunity for you to become a doctor or a lawyer if you're not Jewish. We definitely need more opportunity for anybody to be an important person in their own life and make money. There shouldn't be a one-way ticket through being Jewish. But I'm not about to prejudice against Jewish people for just simply bettering themselves. We can do better. We can make it so that more people can get access. Now, one of the things I want to do is get rid of affirmative action. Getting rid of affirmative action is our best move because it simply keeps you from becoming who you could be. If you're white, you don't get the scholarships you would if you were a minority. It's limiting the playing field, and it prevents people from actually getting ahead. So there's nothing wrong with Jewish people. It's just that they're disproportionately run the legal and the medical and the entertainment and the banking field in the numbers of way over 80%. So let's see how close I can get to this picture. What made his antennas so great was they were actually simply antennas. They were antennas that were fixed to his head. You could never guess where. So I'm going to have to fix something around my neck to come up from behind with a little antenna. It's fantastic. Or I go as the Hillary Donald morphed man-woman bizarre creature. I don't think I can do that. It is stunning. I was stunned when I saw that. And you know, I used to watch that show every day. It was Bill Bixby was my second dad. He was such a great guy. Remember The Courtship of Eddie's Father? What a great actor. He died of prostate cancer. That wasn't Bill Bixby. Yeah, he was, I forget his name. Let's see, My Favorite Martian. Help me out here. Internet will help me. Yes, his name was Mr. Hand. Right, there you go. Well, some of us are getting on in years, guys, so just deal with it. Ray Walston. Ray Walston, thank you. Ray Walston. That was the guy who I would be playing. Yeah, he was great, the Magician. And the Incredible Hulk, right? He played against Lou Ferrigno as the Incredible Hulk, was his alternate morphed character. So going as Donald Trump wouldn't go well. I didn't do a very good Donald Trump last Halloween.
I'm the king of debt. I love that.
I'm the king of saving. I love saving.
Love that. I'm the king of debt. I love that.
I'm the king of saving. I love saving. See? What's with his orange skin? Does he have liver disease? Does anybody know?
Debt. I love that. I'm the king of debt. I love that.
Yeah, they said that orange skin is indicative of liver disease. Do you think that'll come up in the medical report? Shrek! What's going on, man? You've been working nonstop, I'll bet, huh? There he is. Shrek's in the room. Right on. It's a ridiculous spray-on tan. Whatever. Are you a doctor, Poison Pez? Do you know? Yeah, the guy's bankrupt. He's money, all of it's paper. I know. Well, we could talk about that. We want to cut back on energy, so let's talk about the blimp plane concept without the nukes. I want to not put nukes on the blimp plane. Okay, you're going to go to China for 10 days, psychobehavior, while you import goods from people that work overseas. All right. Thanks. Well, I came up with the plan to save energy on plane flights by 85%. I came up with this plan and I pitched the guys at Boeing for the deal. I don't wear wigs, guys. These are my real hair strands, yeah. It is the real hair. So getting these planes up in the air costs 85% of that fuel. Once you're up in the air, it's smooth sailing. So we could toggle those jets to 30% power, put a limiter on it, and we could get these planes going about 300 miles an hour, which means they could get from LA to New York going at about in about 10 hours. So you could go from LA to New York in 10 hours, and we get the price down to about $100 per seat each way. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, we're just getting started, guys. it's going to take about minimum of 10 years to break through the censorship that has been put in place against average Americans reaching out, talking to people about the issues. Our country is so censored that the only way my idea could get out was Boeing had to copy it and make their own plane right after I told them about my idea. Seriously. We went in there in 2009 and told the Boeing reps at the Beyond Oil event about the idea, and they kind of like looked at each other and then went out the door, and voila, Boeing has a blimp plane now. All right. So what I'm projecting here is that the country's aging planes will be so old that they're going to have stress fractures in them, and it's going to be bad. And we want to make sure all that infrastructure, this 747 right here cost $360 million. The last thing I want to do is dump it and put it in a garbage can because it has a few stress fractures in it. So this saves every single plane, and the best part about this whole thing is we will make these planes crash proof. No longer will you have the worry that you had with the Hindenburg. Your family probably, way back when, your grandpa would never have gone on the Hindenburg, but putting a parachute in the nose cone and a parachute in the tailwind, having parachutes pop out of each side wing, and then even having basically a flotation mattress made out of styrofoam that's recycled. Now, this idea came to me about 2 weeks ago. The idea of using the recycled material that's being wasted. Like McDonald's has got more styrofoam than any other fast food restaurant. But you could imagine compressing that in with an epoxy and making these flotation mattresses out of the styrofoam, reusing it. So you've got yourself a breakaway parachute capability from inside the dirigible part. It'll have an exoskeleton of carbon fiber covered with Kevlar that's bulletproof for the most part. And it will have hydrophobic material coming smeared all around it to make it stick free. No friction whatsoever. Okay, this just came in from the DC clothesline, coming from the Beltway. Roger Stone says, oh, hell no. Roger Stone, if Hillary's too sick, the DNC will replace her with Michelle Obama. Seriously. She's being courted as the next big move. That's why she's been doing all these screen events like she did with Ellen DeGeneres the other day, where she co-hosted. Roger Stone talks.
Let me ask you about what Brian Fallon said there, the communications director. He also went on to say, so he says Hillary, as soon as she got in the car, as soon as she got in the car, she just felt cool, and she had a glass of water, which is what Hillary herself said. And he said she's making calls to her staff. She gets to Chelsea's house. She's running around playing with the grandchildren. I mean,
sure.
How do you believe any of that?
No.
I believe none of it. Look, Hillary Clinton is a congenital liar. She lied about being under sniper fire in Bosnia. She lied about being broke when she left the White House. She lied about being named after Sir Edmund Hillary. She lied about her grandparents being immigrants. She lied about the Whitewater billing records. She lies about Bill's sexual assaults on various women and her role in the cover-up of same. Nothing she says can be believed, and a fish, as my grandfather would say, rots from the head. So nobody who works for her can be believed either. That's a cover story. I still believe the woman is gravely ill, but the Clintons' taste and their greed for power and money is so great that they couldn't pass up this race for president. It's one more time that they can get their nose back in the trough. Now, it is my understanding that if she were to be incapacitated, or if she were too ill to continue, or if, God forbid, she should pass away, then the Democratic National Committee would hold a meeting to fill that vacancy. And I don't think it would be Joe Biden. I don't think it would be Tim Kaine. I'm fairly confident she would be replaced by Michelle Obama. Now, that would assuage the feminist wing of the Democratic Party that is salivating over the idea of our first woman president. And therefore, they would be fine with Michelle Obama. So you heard it here first. If Hillary drops from this race or is forced from this race, by ill health, the Democrats will nominate Michelle Obama and I presume retain certified white guy Tim Kaine for vice president.
Yeah, certified white guy, right. All right, goodbye to that story. And hello to Sarah. Sarah's here. Thank you. You need a monocle. How the votations going, David? Pretty good there, Willie. Willie Pickles. Guess 125. You're not Willie Pickles, are you? Not a lot of excitement. Just the fake Hillary being carried into the van where she's turning blue, and then she steps out 90 minutes later, like Roger Stone just said. It's not believable. Yet I believe they're going to try to put this one over on the American people, and the Democrats are going to. I think they're stupid enough to run the impersonator. And I think the impersonator may very well be a robot. We don't know. I mean, Technology Thursday will discuss the possibilities. Tonight, I'm just guessing, but you can clearly see this is a very good body double. She's a little bit shorter and a lot thinner, like 30 pounds thinner. If you're in California, shower every other day. If you're in any other state, shower all you want. What can I say? California is facing a drought. And I believe it's artificially created by humans. I believe this has been manufactured using chemtrails. But we can talk about that at another time. Yeah, it's just so obvious. You see how she's a different face? It's pretty obvious. So I did something unusual. I wanted to show Sarah this. And I'm just going to talk to her about the possibilities. Now, these aren't exactly the same glasses, but people say I have an uncanny appearance. I may very well be exactly like Hillary Clinton, but, in a 6'4" frame, so. Or at least the impersonator.
So weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I was called to come here, and I was waiting in arrears if this would ever happen. They paid me on staff for the past 7 years. I finally get to use my speech therapy. What difference at this point does it make?
I even look like the old one,
I'm feeling a little better. I just had a little bout with Parkinson's and pneumonia, and I got the flu. And Bill's been doing these women in the other room, and I'm very angry.
Let me tell you, they just hacked into Colin Powell's email server, and they found out that Colin Powell wrote a letter to some very important people suggesting that Bill is doing women in the other room, or in the same place that Hillary is. Colin Powell wrote this. They found his letter writing to another friend saying that he believed that Bill was doing bimbos. That was a quote. It actually was a quote. It had another word besides doing. It was a D word. Doing bimbos. And then Colin Powell also said that he would never ever vote for Trump. He's a nightmare. In the email. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to give you Sarah, and I get to leave now.
Yeah, there you go. He's saying Paul McCartney looks like Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it's true.
Yeah, so we think that maybe Hillary Clinton may be Paul McCartney. By that logic.
Wait. He was already... This is the thing.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney... Wait, what's his name?
Paul McCartney. His Billy Shears Campbell.
Billy Shears Campbell.
Yeah, he's an impersonator.
Became Paul McCartney, and now Billy Shears Campbell could become Hillary Clinton.
Well, he's a little taller than Hillary.
Not too much.
Yeah, well, he's 5'11", this guy, or possibly even 6 feet.
That's good because they need someone that's larger than life.
Yeah, I've got a couple of songs that I'd like to write. I would like to do another rendition with Stevie Wonder, Ebony and Ivory. I love that song. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun. I better stop doing this. Pyle is pretty shisty there. I hear you. Putting the big one over on the American people. The world audience believes that that's Paul McCartney. Hillary Imposter was Ellen DeGeneres. You really believe it's Ellen DeGeneres who was playing the Hillary imposter? No, that's not Ellen DeGeneres' face. I can prove that. Let's just do that in a second. It won't take me more than 2 seconds.
Okay.
2 seconds are up.
2 seconds are up.
Yeah, I lost.
But I'm just kidding. You can do whatever you want.
No, I know. I had a window of opportunity. Now the nose is different. I have more of the Hillary nose than, yeah, my nose is more like Hillary's. Oh yeah, impossible. No, sorry. Big difference there, buddy. Yeah. Ellen DeGeneres has more of a hook nose. All right, let's see. We got getting out of the room now. You like the background view? Yeah, it's very conceptual. Air Force One was grounded. Hill Force One grounded after 9/11 collapse. Hillary Clinton cancels the Ellen DeGeneres show. Oh, this is what you're referring to. Oh, okay. She was going to do the Ellen DeGeneres now with her advanced whatever. We don't know what's wrong with her. If she's even alive. That doesn't even look like Hillary. That looks like Barnum, the fake one. Yeah, this isn't even a real Hillary. I'm amazed they canceled Ellen DeGeneres. The fake one could have done it. Maybe that'll still be happening. I have a feeling, based on the fact that nobody has questioned any of the false flags in the mainstream media, and the common media narrative is to ignore anyone who questions the veracity of our government, I'm almost believing that we are going to be seeing the fake impersonator actually in the debates with Donald Trump. I'm not kidding. So this could be a wild. This whole election is absolutely out of the box, man. This is completely unraveled. I've never seen anything like it. That was Teresa Barnum, the other one, the woman who's for a long time was a Hillary double. Everyone knew about her. Dating back to the early days, she was known for looking just like Hillary, but she is different in some ways. Ebony and ivory. Okay. Here she is, the Clinton twin. This is Teresa Barnum many years ago, posing with Hillary. Pretty good match.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Pretty good match. But she doesn't look quite as good as the one they've got now, which in my opinion is by far a better match for her, for Hillary. So these people who do this know exactly what they're doing. But they couldn't duplicate the aging lines and the puffy face from whatever chemicals she was on. Look, I don't wish anything bad upon anyone. If Hillary, the real Hillary, is alive, I hope she gets better, because I don't want anything bad to happen. But I really don't think she made it. I think this is going to be a colossal cover-up of the massive order, and I think they're going to try to phase in a robot to run for president. I really believe that.
People have accused me of being a robot, Sarah, and clearly I am not. I am perfectly human. You can see that by my fluid hand motions.
But no, seriously, we might have a robot with Hillary. She's already admitted to being a robot.
Or at least her body double.
Her body double said something wild. We don't know what, but it was it's a Vanity Fair article that appeared about Hillary being a robot. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Wear diapers.
Wow, it's been covered up.
It's Vanity Fair.
Magazine.
Hillary robot. Hillary android. Android.
Searching. No, I don't support Hillary. Okay, the article has been covered up. It's now buried in the archives.
You can find it on his.
I have it on, I believe, on this one. Hang on. Hillary doesn't talk about a third party. Here's a couple of articles. 10 prominent doctors question Hillary's health. That just came in. Yeah, we have a link to the Hillary Library, but I just want to find this one. Hillary spits substance into a water glass. Snopes caught lying for Hillary. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a better search here to find the Vanity Fair one. Yeah, let me see if I put it in there under. There it is. I found it. It's been scrubbed. Details are not available for this link. No, it should come in now. Okay, here we go. This is the article. This is hilarious. Hillary Clinton said, "I really am not even a human being." No, I'm not kidding. And this is Vanity Fair. Let me put the header in there. This is coming out of the Hive. VanityFair.com doesn't make statements that they cannot support because they've been sued so many times. But it is a real story. A man whose name shall remain nameless created me in his garage. Now, this is a real article. I'm going to put it in the link right now for you to look at. Check it out. I'll double link it so you can hit it twice, because I know you like to open up browsers. Here's audio taken from Hillary and Bill's bedroom. Bill says, "I refuse to have sexual relations with that sick woman. Bring the double in." That's pretty funny. Hillary Clinton declared in an interview that she is a robot, implying that humanity should despair and bend to her superior AI. By voting for her in the 2016 election, that people will be doing that. The shocking admission came during an interview with BuzzFeed podcaster Another Round, in which an astute interviewer noted the Democratic presidential candidate did not sweat during the entire interview. Other reporters and Clinton associates have remarked upon Clinton's remarkable ability to not sweat, even when working the rope line on a hot Iowa day. "I don't mean sweat because you're nervous," said host Tracy Clayton. "I mean just mean physically. I'm genuinely curious what your deodorant is." After some banter over the thermostat and the traditional one weird fact about Clinton, "The weirdest thing about me is that I don't sweat," BuzzFeed foolishly suggested that Clinton was a robot. And all of a sudden it opened up this dialogue. You guys are the first to realize that I'm really not even a human being. I was constructed in a garage in Palo Alto a very long time ago. People think that, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they created it. Oh no, I mean, a man whose name shall remain nameless created me in his garage. I'm serious. What difference at this point does it make that she's a robot? Or she's been replaced by an impersonator? Oh, go to bed. You should have left a long time ago when you were born. Yeah. Okay, so what's going on here is we are being deceived yet again, and now the deception is more real and more in the face of the mainstream media than ever before. They really mishandled that whole event where they claimed that she had pneumonia, and then all of a sudden she pops out 90 minutes later looking fantastic after nearly turning blue on the way into the van. I mean, this is weird. Am I the only one who thinks we're living in kind of a...
You're traveling through another dimension, the dimension of political BS. You've just crossed over into America's Third Party zone, where we sort out the truth from the fiction.
Okay, I'm going to leave the show to Sarah. She can talk to you guys. I'll be back. Maybe the background is the problem. We do have a really cool blue background, too. Today's Wasteful Wednesday, where we try to take advantage of all the different wasteful things that are going on and try to address them. Half the food waste is going to waste. Products coming to our country goes in dumpsters that are not integrated back into the soil. We have a national composting plan. We want to promote waste recycling and getting soil back to drought-resistant health. A big important thing, considering agribusiness wants to kill the soil. So a lot of reasons to vote for a third party, folks. We really care about the environment. We want to stop GMOs. I want to stop this Monsanto patent control over GMOs, where they charge farmers who don't even buy their seeds seed money. Oh, this is a wild background. What is that? Look at that. That is huge, man. What a scene. That looks like a tornado, like a level 4 tornado.
Yeah, something like that.
It's an amazing background, isn't it? You can see how quick things can turn to waste in such an environment.
Maybe it is a volcanic eruption.
It's a volcanic eruption somewhere. We can look at that. We just look at that. We just look at that.
Yeah.
I'll be back. Thank you. Sarah's going to give me a quick break.
An explosion at a red paint factory. An explosion at a red paint factory. That would make sense. At least it matches my hair. It brings out the red in my hair. The background does. I know it doesn't look like a tornado. It looks like it's moving from up into the sky instead of around in a circle or something like that. Oh, I don't think so. 5, 3, 1. I think that picture behind me might be a volcanic eruption of some kind. That would make sense on a cloudy day. Contains pollution and radioactivity. I know. I agree. I didn't say a tornado. Well, yes, I guess I did agree with David. You're right. Thank you. Thanks for correcting me. Moving on. Closing out of browsers. Ha! So funny, 652. Okay, I'm closing out of that. Closing out of that. Okay. Yeah, there probably is color correction. It's just because of that, the background, that my hair looks that color. Speaking of this, Super Typhoon Moranti is hitting China after it battered Taiwan and Malaccas. Oh. House Homeland Security Chairman Mike McCall said that he misspoke Wednesday when he told CNN that Russian hackers have penetrated the computer systems of the Republican National Committee. Here's why the Samsungs are catching fire. Hello, Master Meatball. How are you tonight? Me, I'm good. Hello, Eddie. Nice to see you. Thanks for watching us over on YouTube as well as everywhere else you do. Are you saying projects? 125? I have many projects that I work on. Okay, if you plug your smartphone into the bedside charger and place it on your nightstand, then you wake up and your nightstand's in flames, smoke billowing everywhere. That could be happening in your Jeep, your hotel room. Samsung, one of several dozens of Samsung Galaxy Note 7s have spontaneously burst into flames. All right. 35 reported incidents of overheating smartphones worldwide. And then Samsung decided to recall all of the the Galaxy Note 7s, which is 1 million of the 2.5 million that were manufactured. So they stopped all sales and shipments of the Note 7. And it's happening just like at the same time iPhone is releasing their iPhone 7. So people are taking back their Samsung 7s and saying, well, I still want a 7-inch screen, so then they're getting the iPad 7. Yes, I often do have bad looks on my face when I read weird chat. Phones use lithium-ion battery packs for their power. And the liquid swimming around inside lithium-ion batteries is highly flammable. If the battery short circuits by puncturing incredibly thin sheets of the incredibly thin sheet of plastic separating the positive and negative side of the battery, the puncture point becomes the path of least resistance for electricity to flow, which heats up the flammable liquid electrolyte. And if the liquid heats up quickly enough, the battery can explode. Yes, thanks 652. Yeah, you guys like the unbuttoned top button and the necklace? Oh, in 2004, there was a spike in cell phone battery explosions. In 2009, Nokia recalled 46 million phone batteries. And some exploding phones have even killed people, not necessarily the Galaxy Note 7. You think the Samsung problem is fixed? Well, they're recalling it, if that's what you mean by fixed. What's the best tablet for the stream? I don't really know because I'm not a big tablet person. I know I use an Android tablet. I use a Samsung tablet. 10.1 is what I use. 10.1. But I don't really know the answer to that question. All right. Wow. Okay. We've known for years that lithium-ion batteries pose a risk, but the electronics industry continues to use this formula because the batteries are so small and light, then less destructive compounds. The Note 7's manufacturing defect affects less than 0.01% of all Note 7 handsets sold. So that's less than 1,000 defective phones. Very rare manufacturing process error is what they're saying. A Windows tablet? I actually am not a fan of a Windows phone. I have a Windows phone and I really don't like it. It's just not good. Yeah, there's no need to get anything. But I don't know if you can actually watch the show on Nut 125. So you might want to try it out first. Why don't I like my Windows phone? It just seems clunky to use. It seems really clunky. I use it to make phone calls, but I don't use it for all of its potential. It has the potential to check your mail and do all those things, and I just don't use that. Whatever. So, why would I have a Windows phone? Because it was affordable and I'm a cheapskate. Yeah, it is kind of uplifting, isn't it? Especially with the red in the clouds. Well, that's better than what the person said that got banned, 770. You can call me weak, but I really don't like what that person said. Thanks, 7080. All right. All right. The Samsung's Galaxy Note 7 has caught fire as many as 90 times after only 1 month on sale. And Samsung may have accidentally squeezed their batteries harder than they should. David's not going to get me a phone. I'll go get a phone myself. Thanks, $3.99. I think that's what happens. Don't squeeze your batteries too hard. Otherwise your phone might explode. That would not be good. Alrighty. That was interesting though. Close. Close. Oh, sorry. I'm just reading some news. Bayer is striking a deal for Monsanto, which would not be good for farmers. Yeah, it would be difficult if people keep putting their phones in their back pockets. There's a giant public art vessel that's, who knows? Companies are quietly changing health plans so that you pay more. A quiet but profound shift is fundamentally reshaping how health insurance works for 155 million people. What is the news? That's in the news. Chat was awesome last night. Where are all the cool people? Sarah ran them off. I guess. Thanks, 974. Alright. I'll have to... Okay, so... A national survey of employer health benefits released Wednesday shows how much deductibles, the healthcare costs that people must pay out of their own pockets before insurance kicks in, have shot up. In 2016, 4 in 5 workers had a deductible as part of their individual coverage, averaging about $1,478. During the past 5 years, deductibles have grown to 10 times as fast as inflation and nearly 6 times as fast as wages. Yeah, viewers are low, only guests are chatting, that's fine. Oh, is that what happened, 974? Maybe because he saw me on the screen. Always happens around 8:15. For the first time, employer-sponsored health benefits also reached a new benchmark. Half of all workers who receive insurance through their employers face a deductible of at least $1,000 a year for individual coverage, up from 10% of workers in 2016. So in 2006, 10% had a big deductible like that. Now half do. According to the survey by the Kaiser family. Oh, 8:15 is time for pizza delivery, maybe. You want to talk about Korea and nukes? How they're just trying to scare people with their nuclear tactics? That's what I believe, 974. It's like North Korea's, they probably feel like they're backed into a wall. And so they feel like they have to engage in intimidation threats. Hopefully America won't hurt anyone, mess anyone up. 399. What would you like me to tell you? I do have great ideas. So I guess I could talk about what you want me to talk about. Oh, thanks, 179. That would be great. How about a foot rub? Well, she's not supposed to, 974, because only U.S. citizens are supposed to donate to election campaigns. Yeah. I don't have any foot fetish. I just stand up a lot. There's nothing wrong with public education. Public education does an incredible service educating the public, the masses. Exactly. 780 understands what I'm saying. All right. An app for that? 853? That's so crazy. Well, if you think that education is indoctrination, then you're more than welcome to start your own education to not indoctrinate people. There's always improvements, but I think the best improvement is to just support our teachers, and if we can lower the teacher to student ratio, I mean, lower the student to teacher ratio. Yeah. Less students for each teacher, then that would be awesome.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Actually, you can do homeschooling 316. No, you can definitely do homeschooling. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Each state has their own rules for homeschooling, but it's up to your individual state.
You know, we want to have a federal homeschooling program, so like a pathway to a GED, where we would actually pay you to educate your kids. You could get a voucher for anywhere from $2,000 to $6,000, I'm thinking, per year.
Oh, if people want to educate their own
Yeah,
kids.
how much would it be worth, do you think, for a parent to take the time, K through 8?
I don't know.
You know, voucher-wise, the number we have, we don't know what the voucher would be, but we could definitely see using some of the money we save on the Department of Education administrative costs and put it toward an offer to the students, the parents of the students. So you'd have to take a test. Your kids would have to take a test to get the money, and they'd have to pass the test.
Yeah, reading, writing.
Yeah, but they'd have multiple offers to take the test. We could offer. My God. Thank you, Sarah, for coming in tonight. Thank you so much. She rolls her eyes because she's tired. She can't understand what I'm talking about because there's so much information gathering tonight. You got to understand, Sarah's worked full day, and she sits in here and she's like, how can she even process this information? I know. No, they are not married. They do not believe that marriage should be something the state should control. They believe that the marriage should be a sanctimonious act between a man and a woman, or for that matter, a man and a man, or a woman and a woman. It doesn't really matter, but I mean, the point is the government should get itself out of marriage contracts. And I ask all of you socially conservative people, do you really think we should force states to force marriage contracts? Gay people or heterosexual people? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a breach of the separation of church and state, plain and simple. I'm surprised it passed the muster. Of course, the Supreme Court's being run by a bunch of buffoons. Chief Justice Roberts, you realize that he's an epileptic, right? Yeah, he's an epileptic, Chief Justice Roberts, and he's heavily medicated. He can't possibly make any good decisions. He needs to be impeached. Well, Sarah likes the idea of making money. She doesn't want to give money away to parents to teach their kids. I mean, you're right. She has a personal and vested interest in that relationship. Yeah, Chief Robert, he's a total epileptic. You know, the guy that botched the inaugural speech that Obama made in 2008? I'll be standing in for David Sponheim tonight. I'm David Sponheim's body double. I'm just kidding. Of course, I think many things that taught in school are lies. What do you think? I mean, I go into the shows every night talking about apocalyptic events that are being underreported, like Fukushima, and the waste that's being dumped into the ocean. I talk about the incredible government spending in education on Wasteful Wednesday. They're literally, every classroom in Washington gets $300,000, and every single teacher gets about maybe 60 of that 300. So where's the 240,000 in each classroom? The bus drivers, the janitors? I'm trying to figure out the property taxes on the buildings that are already paid for. I mean, I'm beginning to think that there's some real rip-offs going on right here in River City. That's right, boys and girls. They're sucking your money out faster than you can think twice. It's a massive sucking sound, like Ross Perot said. Can you hear that sucking sound? Those are your tax dollars flying out of your pockets. Those are your jobs going overseas. Now see here. Take a look at the map here. This shows a massive volcanic eruption. You told your son Jefferson Davis was a slave owner, and how did he take it? I will not reprimand Sarah. She's been an excellent person in this in every way. She's supported me to the max. I never thought I'd migrate from my years in Switzerland, in the underground caverns, to being in this suburban home, here, pretending to be an average person. No, I actually am an average person. I have a very humble life. I never really expected a lot out of life. If I'm comfortable, I'm happy. I don't need a lot. I'm not greedy. Whatever. People use each other. I mean, hello. We're all using each other. I mean, you're obviously using me to watch something right now, and I'm using you to be watched. No, these are not the Parkinson sunglasses as approved by the Hillary Clinton campaign. They don't qualify. They're slightly oblong in nature, so you can't quite get the full spectrum anti-Parkinson's effect. You are a user, yeah. That sucks. It sucks being a user. I don't think Sarah even knows she's famous. You know what's unusual about Sarah? She doesn't realize that she's beautiful, for one. She doesn't realize that she's famous, for two. It's kind of interesting. I mean, when you see Sarah and I interact on the show, we really are average Americans talking to each other. You're getting authentic Americana right here, right in your laptop or your desktop or your tablet or whatever you're watching us on. But no, we don't have any kids. We chose not to have children because the world is turning into an apocalyptic hell. I would like to fix the world before I replicate. I'm not some atavistic organism waiting to just, reach in and stick my prong in some orifice. I am an evolved human being, and I'm not happy with the world we live in. I'm disgusted by the environmental contamination, the pollution, the contamination of our food supply. I don't want to, whatever, prong. The word was prong. I would rather you looked at the bigger aspects of this election and said, hey, I want a guy who really cares about the environment, and that's me. I want a person who really is going to cut my taxes, and I'm going to do that. I want a person who's going to stimulate the private sector so we can create jobs, even as far down as building up houses that are already standing. I'm going to make that happen. So I'm offering real solutions to the presidency, whereas Donald and Hillary, they're pie in the sky opportunities. Like Mitt Romney, remember he offered 14 million jobs and no one knew where they were coming from? It's like, where do you pull that number out of a hat? I mean, 14 million jobs. Prong in orifice. Are you still back there? That's 3 paragraphs ago. I'm sorry. You can always watch the show over again in slow-mo. Companies are quietly changing health plans so you pay more. This came in recently, and I was talking about it earlier, and it just amazes me how companies are quietly changing health plans so you pay more. Yeah. I wonder why they want to do that. You think they may want to make more money on you because they're scumbags who suck money off of everybody they walk up to? Suck monsters. Every one of these scumbag healthcare providers. Hillary wants more of them. Donald wants more of them. He wants to increase the number of healthcare providers. That's going to cost even more. I'm offering the mobile medical unit plan. He's trying to steal that idea. It is the best solution for our country, for the low-cost healthcare of our average people. We're talking even illegal aliens. People that don't have any money like you. You go in and pay $30 copay if you have money, and if you don't have money, sign a piece of paper and we'll check it against your tax records and we'll know next time whether you're cheating. And then we will say yes, but we will make it almost impossible to feel good.
No! 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 I said no! No!
I think my batteries are running low. I think they are. All right, so you know that the cost of getting health care at this point is enough to bankrupt you. That's why a lot of you aren't even getting health care. A man of means by no means. King of the road. Doot, doot, doot. I'm going to offer you a mobile medical unit that you can go to and hang out and get some care, preventative and triage. And that mobile medical unit will be available to anybody. Man, woman, child, whatever your race, doesn't matter. And we want to make 200 of these right out of the chute to make them available. These are rapid response MMUs. And these will be developed and put out. We'll be working in Detroit and South Bend, Indiana to create these. We'll be working with the Kenworth Trucking Company in Seattle to mass produce these things. And what I'm looking at is a hollowed out hull of a vehicle that has all the necessary accoutrements to give you guys really good care. Yes, indeedy. Yeah, like MASH units, yeah. So every one of these things will have the ability to have a canopy outside, so it's weather ready. There'll be a security guard on staff. So there'll be like a guy standing here, going, hey man, checking your ID. There's the one guy standing there. Not bad for just a single draw. And he'll have the ability to actually check IDs of anybody and actually scan your ID in. He's not just a security guard, he's going to be doing something. Then there's going to be another mobile medical unit guy that will come out of the back here and walk around and actually see anybody who's sitting in a tented area. You get the idea. With seating, rows of seating. And we'll even have an LED TV on the side of the vehicle with modern day tips for cooking. Probably running a cooking show, like a healthy cooking show, featuring recipes that you would get when you go to take a blood test. So you go back in the unit over here. If you're sitting over here, somebody will come by and take your oxygenation, your blood pressure, and your pulse. Probably maybe not blood pressure, maybe just pulse and oxygenation, because that's easiest. And then you would see an immediate response when you go inside, and or maybe you want to go to the dental alternative. This has a dental door. This will deal with fillings and removals of teeth. The dental door over here, $50 per tooth, additional cost for filling or removal. And then back here you'll have people going up here for blood tests, and they'll do a pinprick blood test, and you'll talk to a person in the front room. And then if you have to get moved up to a telemedicine capability with one of your local doctors at a Veterans Administration, this entire plan will be rolled out through the VA. Well, you can watch Matlock if you want, yeah. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah. So the back of the store will have the ability, will be a mobile pharmacy as well, offering generic medicine. You'll also be getting we'll be making a profit on the medicine itself, so we will get a little bit of money back because we're offering blood pressure medication that would normally be $160 for 30, for as low as 20. Anti-diabetes medication for a similar value. So you're going to be seeing major savings back here. So people they'll have an incentive to go to these units and check them out. We'll make sure they're private. Everyone will be protected. Nobody's information will be shared. In fact, the work that we do here will be put in a database, but it won't be added to your file. Only if you get checked into a medical hospital will any of this information be forwarded. If you have to get triaged to a higher level, it'll be forwarded to that. So we want to keep your anonymity safe at all times. We don't want a blood prick test going into for DNA analysis. That'll be separate. The nurses will be wearing tutus and baby dolls, and the male nurses will be dressed like stud muffins for some of you homosexual people. I mean, seriously, what do you care what they're wearing? They're going to be dressed like professionals, more like an EMT is today. Did you hear me? Some other guy's doing blackface. Do I care? Don't publish things like that, bingo. Yeah, it's irrelevant to what I'm doing right now. Yeah, you're like it's like throwing a pipe under a car going 120 miles an hour. My blackface thing is well known for the past 8 years. I don't care if somebody does blackface. Please do it for Halloween. I don't care. No, nobody gets special treatment. You guys will be working in my administration if you really believe in what I'm doing. If you really want to get behind this plan, I mean, you can become users. You guests can become usernames, and we really still need more people to sign up to America's Third Party. And that means going in and hitting the volunteer button and putting your name and number in there and email address. It's free to sign up. So you just go to our website if you want. And this website has a poster on it. You can post in the back of your car if you want. Even at this point, we're good getting the name out there. You can print a poster like this up for 99 cents at your local Office Max. But you go to the website, AmericasThirdParty.com, and you get the Join the Voter Revolt poster. And I believe that's enough to get everybody in there. And you can go to here, the volunteer button, or donate, or store, or old site, or our platform, and click on, say, the volunteer button. We'll give you a query that asks for where you're living. And we will only use your address. We will never sell your address. And we'll only use your address if we win the popular vote in your state. That's when you become a bona fide elector. It's that simple. So email address, first name, last name, address. It says optional, but we need to know where your state is because it's important to get electors in every state right now. And then click the elector tab. And it's all free. It just basically logs you into us, so we will be able to see you. After mixed signals, Trump shares medical info with Dr. Oz. What kind of a name is Dr. Oz, really? How can we take this seriously? And he's soon going to publicly release his medical records, possibly this week. Okay, we'll see. We're waiting to see if he has anything like prostate cancer. I have never doxed anybody. Ever. I'm not a doxer. Sarah and I are average Americans. They're being demoralized by people. That's why people call me names. Well, look it. If you think the photo looks gay, I just drove about 600 miles to go visit a hair lip who said he was working for the 101st Airborne Division of the U.S. Army. And he turned out he was a liar. So, I mean, I drove very far to have that picture taken. I was burnt out when that picture was taken. It was like road burn on my face. I mean, look at it. You can even see the sunglass marks. Anyway. Well, if Dr. Oz doesn't give him a prostate exam, and he doesn't have a prostate exam, I'm not going to say anything. But if he's on some sort of anti-prostate medication, like things that make you Flomax, for instance, to make you urinate, if he's taking Flomax, I would be concerned. That would be a telltale sign of prostate disease. And I'm not a doctor. Although I know so much, it's almost unbelievable. Trump's prostate exam should be conducted live on TV? I don't think so. I think he deserves the privacy of his own prostate exam. You know, I don't have any testicular bumps or nodules for him, so thanks for asking. Live on TV, really? What about pay-per-view? Trump's prostate exam pay-per-view. It might be a way to pay back some of his debtors that are collecting right now. Hey, listen, look, Trump, you're gonna have to pay up, buddy. You know, we're gonna only front you so long. You know what I'm talking about? Click. You've had anal cancer from years of anal sex. Would you like to talk about that? Thank you. I want to hear about Did you have unprotected anal sex? Well, ask your doctor. I don't know who it was, but I'm channeling with some pretty heavy guys in, Goodfellas. I'm getting this voice from something, somewhere. I don't know where. And it's not Scarface. Okay, any other questions? Oh, U.S. finalizes deal to give Israel $38 billion in military aid. Are you serious? Talk about waste. Holy moly. Wow. Boy, is Barack Obama schmoozing up to the Zionist state of Israel. Gosh. Well, I can see giving him support insofar as guaranteeing air support in the event of an attack. But to give a country with this kind of wealth, $38 billion in military aid, why don't we just bend over and grab our ankles, America, and grease up, because we're about to get screwed by Iran and Israel. Holy moly. This guy's a total pushover, this Obama. This is pathetic. President Obama and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel in the Oval Office last year. Well, I guess these relations are evolving. They finalized a $38 billion package of military aid for Israel over the next 10 years. The largest of its kind ever. Well, this is actually down from the $77 billion that they asked. They asked for $7.7 billion per year. So this is actually half of what they asked, ironically. Susan Rice was involved. Oh yeah, she's a big investor in Iran, by the way. As Ambassador Susan Rice, she invests personally in Iran, financially. I couldn't believe it, but yeah, there's a lot of people who've done that. John Kerry, etc. And then they're doing a deal with Iran at the same time. Isn't that amazing? Bond shuffled you to the middle of the list. Why? We are being censored, guess 348. Yeah, funny how Iran got way more. Iran got 155 billion, guess 987, in cash and credit, 155 billion. And we just recently gave them a couple billion. 400 million dollar payments for various sets of hostages, all in the QT. I am not gay, and I don't move like I'm gay, so stop saying that. This is an order. If you continue saying that, your lips will be sealed, and it won't be pretty. You heard the chemotherapy drugs for HIV caused AIDS? Wow, I did not know that. Oh, come on. What is this, bleeding heart liberal time? Guess 399. Iran suffered sanctions and lost revenues the U.S. and European owed them. No. I was against the sanctions, by the way. We're being locked in at 60 viewers. Our viewers are worldwide in the millions right now. I was against the sanctions against Iran, by the way, which, ironically, if we just followed my wisdom, we would have not paid out any money. Thank you very much. Plus, Iran is a criminal nation. Thank you, Lone Patriot. A known terrorist nation, and we are ostensibly negotiating with terrorists when we make these deals. I'm going to call a spade here. Obama's administration has been negotiating with terrorists. Now, under the existing contract, within a few days, I read the arrangement too, yeah. Within the next few days, Iran will be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. I'm not kidding. Isn't that sick? Doesn't that just make you want to puke? Excuse me. I feel much better now. No, I'm not an only child. My parents are dead. I'm, as you know, my sister Connie. She's out there. She's out. She talks to people. She visits people. I need to talk to you about the border fence that I came up with, the 1,000-mile border fence I came up with in 2008. That's been copied by Trump. Here it is. We want to get this 1,000-mile border fence built by illegal aliens that are in our prison system. We are not going to waste your tax dollars beyond what we are currently paying for illegal aliens to be. So we want to do something that actually gets a savings long term. Over a 4-year period, that's $100 billion saved. And we can build this fence using existing fencing material that we already have in America around our FEMA camps. Now, we've got FEMA camps all around the country, about 804 of them. The ones in the north, west, and east can be retasked to develop the fencing that we need and reposition it near the border of Mexico. I will not be charging Mexico for this, and I'm telling President of Mexico right now, President Nieto needs to know that I will not charge him a dime for this. And we want to keep open relations with Mexico and maintain the open border that we have currently without any changes whatsoever, unless there are problems arising from the fence building. Well, we'll have boots in the ground too. Oh yeah. I got to tell you, the fence is only an addition. We will need a cadre of over 15,000 troop members from the National Guard, which we're bringing home, to defend our borders, Lone Star. Yep. And this is going to make our country a lot stronger. Having our troops positioned there, we're going to actually retask the Border Patrol to take lie detector tests. And those that fail will be out. Those that pass will be given an opportunity to carry more firearms and be more heavily trained to deal with interdiction within the United States, within cities like Phoenix and Scottsdale and El Paso, known hubs for drug cartels, working undercover through suburban homes, bringing in coyote people in vans, chopping off their fingers and sending them overseas mail through the USPS mail to their family members, threatening for more money or they get another digit cut off of their fingers. We got a lot of work to do, and it's not going to get done with some big loudmouth New Yorker who doesn't understand how to get things done because he himself has borrowed all the money he has. It's unbelievable how much debt this guy has. It looks to me like he's got $2.64 billion in debt. I don't know how he has $2.4 billion in equity. Even if he sold his name, it would be a very short list. The reason why Donald Trump did not buy the name Celebrity Apprentice from Mark Burnett is because he couldn't afford it. Think about it, Trump supporters. He couldn't even afford the name Celebrity Apprentice. How rich could he be? A New Yorker wouldn't know how to build a wall. Heck, it's in El Paso. You're from New York City. You don't know nothing about building walls, boy. You get what I'm talking about? He couldn't get his little fingernails dirty. I live with fingernails in the dirt every day. Well, I think the fence and the wall and the moat along the Canadian border is simply, it's uncivilized, actually. We will have to have more avionics along the northern border. We're dealing with an area of empty space there in Saskatchewan. Yeah, you're right. Oh, was I shouting? I'm sorry. No, Canada's a good country, man. Relax. Take it easy. You're going to have a heart attack. Take it easy, man. You're going to have a heart attack. There's an area up in Saskatchewan that is an open sieve. Now, I'm just going to show you the border. Real simple, say. And there's an area in Montana and North Dakota that is going to be targeted for better avionics and possibly a fence. But we're not going to build a fence along the northern border unless we have to. But right along in this area, I've talked to people in our show. Throughout this area, there are leaky sieve points right here. I'm not trying to give anybody any ideas, but it is extremely disturbing that we have these openings. So many Muslims use Canada as a gateway country. Oh yeah, and look at Minnesota. Minnesota is absorbing so many people from foreign countries like Nigeria. You know that I went to Rochester, Minnesota, and I talked to a lot of people there. My father grew up in that region, and I went out there about 5 years ago with Sarah, and I did some interviews with people on the phone just to get a feel for what's happening. And it turns out that there's 2 or 3 rival gang members in Rochester now. One's Somalian, and the other is Nigerian, and the other one's from the inner city of Chicago. So you got the Chicago against the Somalians against the Nigerians in Rochester, Minnesota. Isn't that amazing? And then we've got a problem in Michigan with all the Dearborn, Michigan accumulation of Muslims, and many of them are undocumented. So we want to make sure everybody's documented, but we don't want anyone to get away thinking that I'm going to ID Muslims. I'm not. It's just that if you don't have a U.S. citizenship, you need documentation like a passport. That's all I'm talking about. The drones controlling the border are a help, but they're not giving us a full picture. There's videonics up and down the Canadian border, but it's not enough. So we do have some loopholes, and I agree with you. I know that ISIS is coming up through Mexico, other than Mexicans, Walton. Yeah, I know about that. Well, I don't have a really hard stance on my anti-Muslim stance is not like Trump's. That's a significant difference between the two of us. I believe that jihadist, radical Islamic jihadists do exist, and I would have a much better approach towards our national security. We will be doing 100% rapid scanners check of luggage. All the rapid scan systems in the country will be put to task to go after the luggage. And unlike Trump, I'm going to cut the TSA. I'm going to phase them out and bring in our National Guard at the airports because they can handle our ports of entry. And we'll lower the cost of our TSA costs about $7 billion a year. We'll cut that out of the budget completely. And the rapid scanners will no longer be used against Americans or anybody, human beings. It'll be used towards luggage. We have a real problem there. So we are aware of the potential for Islamic radicalism in our country, but I'm not going to go about it in any way with IDing Muslims and deportation forces. That's insane. It turns our country into an even bigger police state, and we really have a big problem there with the police state growing and the amount of brutality being committed against innocent people. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. We're all getting shot unnecessarily by ruthless cops. Yeah, I know that Dearborn has Sharia courts and public calls to prayer loudspeakers. Yeah, we're going to stop all that. Any Sharia law practiced in the U.S. will be banned. You will not be able to practice Sharia law in this country. And you'll be prosecuted under our laws if you were to kill your wife, for instance, because she looked at another man. Or you find out that your daughter was forced into a marriage because she was raped. These would be federal offenses, and their families, in many cases, would go to jail. Forcing their daughter to marry someone who raped her. It'd be forced imprisonment, and it would be like a 10-year prison sentence. I don't think trannies frisk trannies. I think there's some other protocol. You know, I've never traveled by plane since 9/11, so I don't even know what they do at the airports. You guys are more knowledgeable than I am. Yes, I will be your first Native American president. I have a significant relative. My great-great-great-great-great-grandmother was Algonquin Indian. And I can represent the Native American people. I'm not an official Indian or Native American, but I will be listening to their cause and focusing on the issues. Now we have a picture of an Algonquin Indian on the warpath, and you can decide whether I look like him or not. Hey Eddie, how you doing, man? Hey, oh Eddie. Hello, Eddie. Welcome. Eddie is over in YouTube chat. We would like to talk about the Native American roles in sharing profits from tribal gatherings like casinos. I would like to see every Native American receive money from the overall casino profits. In order to be a Native American, you must be 1/5 Native American. I do not qualify. Anyway. Yeah, I should shed a tear. But the reality is we need to do something. We need to get our country back on track, and the Native Americans need more money, obviously. The Sioux Indians, many of the South Dakota tribes, Black Hills of South Dakota are so poor it's not even funny. The eastern, the Passamaquoddy Indian tribe still doesn't have a casino, and they don't draw any revenue from the casinos that are near there. I mean, there's so many different problems in the Native American tribal lands. It's not even funny. So yeah, consider me your Native American presidential candidate. Thank you. Now, unlike Elizabeth Warren, I did not use that and exploit that small amount of Native American I have in me to get a free ride through Harvard. So we will be prosecuting Elizabeth Warren, and this is my idea, not Trump's. If she will be given a DNA test, if she does not prove to be 1/32nd, which is the rule for affirmative action, she has to be 1/32nd Native American Cherokee. If she does not qualify, we will prosecute her for fraud, and she'll be serving the rest of her tenure as a senator in jail. They can impeach her if they want. I don't care. We're going to charge her with a crime. Yeah, she stole tons of affirmative action money claiming she's Cherokee. I didn't get a college education because I didn't get any of that money. I was seen as a white guy. Can you imagine looking at me and saying, oh yes, you are a white guy? I don't know. Hey, we're in the extended show. People are saying, why do you have a large upper lip? My people had a big upper lip. We also had a stiff upper lip. I'm the most unwhite white guy you'll ever meet. People say, are you African American? I mean, you seem to look like an African American. Well, I mean, I don't think there is a big issue about talking about this stuff. I really don't. We do need to talk about the connection between Trump and Adolf Hitler, though. I think that's important. We should talk about that. We talked about it last night. I think we should talk about it tonight. The fact that he met Henry Kissinger is enough to make anybody's blood boil. The fact that he even met with him 2 months ago privately is bizarre. This guy is the architect of the New World Order, Council on Foreign Relations, where we're headed with corporate control of our government. And for Trump to have met with him shows me that he's getting the same kind of backing that Adolf Hitler got to take over Germany. And I'm not speaking of some ancient, fictitious character in history. This isn't Attila the Hun, although he was real. This is a guy who recently in history physically killed millions of ethnic minorities for no reason whatsoever. So, I am more than willing to step out of the box on this one and talk briefly about this. He's using the same techniques that Adolf Hitler used, exploiting racism to rise to power, proposing mass deportations, promising to make Germany great again. Trump's promising to make America great again. He used the same techniques. Both are anti-something. Hitler was anti-Jew fascist. Trump is anti-Muslim fascist. Hitler blamed Jews for Germany's problems. Trump blames immigrants for America's problems. And both thought that somebody needed an ID. Well, I've got news for you. Both of these people, Hitler and Trump, are Zionists. And a lot of the Hitler supporters are blown away when I say that. Hitler was working for a cadre of people that were trying to control the world's financial sector. And they actually financed him. I am white. Yeah, I'm a white guy. I wrote Caucasian down on all my applications. Consequently, I was hosed. I didn't get any access to 4 major universities. I don't mind comparing Trump to the Fuhrer, simply because they're both Zionist and they both have the same qualities. And I might want to remind you, Trump Tard, guest 938, that Donald Trump actually read Hitler's speeches every night before he went to bed, according to Ivana Trump in a deposition in their divorce case. I'm going to give you the Trump link library, and you can go ahead and decide for yourself what kind of a dictatorial person we're dealing with here. Yeah, this is the Dump Trump link library. Feel free to click any of the links. There's 46 of them now. And if you don't see the similarity, you're blind, buddy. Yeah, Bayer, the Nazi corporation, has bought Monsanto, the death-creating corporation. Not only do they want to control the foods through GMOs, putting Roundup in vaccines, we found this out last week, they're putting Roundup, glyphosate, in vaccinations. They're spreading it across the ground. There's over 7.5 billion tons of Roundup on the planet now. Well, it's not Ivanka I'm talking about, it's Ivana, the mother. She was very pretty too. Well, since obviously you don't understand what I'm talking about, you are clearly gone mentally. You like Hitler? Hitler never died in Austria. You got a lot of work to do. You're pretty far off. You probably think, like Trump, that the World Trade Center attack occurred on 7/11. Always remember 7/11. Slurpees can't melt steel beams. Yeah, Trump is so connected to the establishment that he's actually, he literally supports, Silent Man, do you mind? Thanks. Trump literally supports 7/11 being the date of the death of all those people that died there. I have to play the clip, sorry. I don't know anybody by that name, sorry. That's not true. Hitler did not have an IQ of 220. His IQ was never tested.
And it's very close to my heart because I was down there and I watch our police and our firemen down at 7/11 down the World Trade Center right after it came down. 7/11 World Trade Center right after it came down. And I saw the greatest people I've ever seen.
This guy's I think he's like bordering on retarded. Bordering on mentally retarded, because, you know, when you grow up in a rich household and you're clearly kind of a little bit off, and you spend all of your youth at Studio 54 with all these weird gang, I guess they were gang rapes going on or something. I'm not sure. Something. Studio 54 had sex acts going on. And he talks about it. And what's really shocking to me is that somebody with a borderline mental retardation case like that gets through life without anyone questioning him. When you have a lot of money, people are afraid to say, it's 9/11, Mr. Trump. No, actually, 9/11 is the Illuminati code. This isn't Conspiracy Monday, but I'll be glad to talk about it. Yeah, I think about 90,325. Good point. Thank you. The heroin epidemic and how the U.S. government controls drugs. Okay, excellent. What's concerning me is the fact that he's willing to do the bidding of the elitists, the Zionists. being that he is completely corruptible and has taken 10 plus of my ideas and is willing to do that with a straight face and not even blink an eye, you can only imagine what he's willing to do to this country and how he's willing to probably lie, cheat, and steal in order to get to the top of the heap so he can give all of his cronies more money. Guest 173 says, I can't believe Trump is running for president of the United States. I know. It's devolved into this. We've had no political dialogue. It's been disturbing that our country is completely smitten by this Illuminati character like Trump. And it's disturbing that he's using his power to gain access to the media, where as an average American with great ideas, clearly they're great ideas, otherwise Trump wouldn't be stealing them. The idea that this is, they've censored me for 8 years should make your stomach curdle. The very fact that we don't have a voice in America should turn you over in your sleep going, oh my God, what the hell's happening? The trees are all dying. We've got a massive environmental hellhole that's forming under the two-party system. And believe me, Trump went to California.
So here's our sky from this morning, about 10 a.m., September 13th.
Trump went to California and said there was no drought. I mean, he'd have to be a blithering idiot to think there's no drought in California when you guys, you can't even use your faucets without getting a fine. You can't water your yards. You have to have special faucets and shower heads in your houses in order to comply with the federal law or the state law. Our country is virtually being dried to death. We are being slowly attacked on the western border. This is tantamount to an attack against our country, is weather modification. Now the trees are dying. Our country's in dire need of a solid, honest leader, and I'm doing this every night, pitching this issue every night to I'm preaching to the choir, I realize this, but if we could reach out and keep reaching out and telling people about a third party, it will make a difference. The tides will turn. But in the meantime, we are all going to be around the world affected by this massive chemical display of insanity. Industrial waste being dumped in the skies above us. Massive contrails. These things are chemical trails or chemtrails. You can call them whatever you want. Roger that. We're poisoning the atmosphere. We're dropping the lithium right now on the unsuspecting duped fools that are sitting there with their windows open. So what can you do to defend yourself against this calamity? Well, you can actually... please don't talk about Ron Jeremy here. Thanks. You can actually close your windows in your house, run your air conditioner, assuming it's not bringing in fresh air, run it on recirculator if you're in a hot house, and then get air filters that are available readily at any major store. They're called ion air filters, and they're sold from anywhere from $30 to $150. You can get them at any major box store. Get at least one of them for your living room. That's the only thing you can do right now. No, that wasn't Trump. That was some guy wearing a mask. Well, thank you, yeah. Does Hillary Clinton have a twin sister? Oh, there you go. Does she? Very interesting theory.
Does not have a body double.
Wow. You know, if she was handpicked, now there's a theory that Bill is a Rothschild, and he wouldn't just date anybody at a university. It's possible she had a sister, and it's possible she was chosen because she could be replaced. This could be a plan that's been in the works for a long time. I seriously don't think the Democrats are going to break from their argument that Hillary is alive, even if she's dead. And neither one of them, the Democrats or Republicans, are going to offer the $400 a month deal. So tell that to people when you mention a third party. Tell them that we have a flat tax on income over 100,000, which will bring income into our country from outside our country, as well as save everybody who's making less than 100,000 any of their taxes. That's another good thing about running for a third party. And of course, the closer for me is just legalization. And it could be bringing our troops home and ending the Federal Reserve, whatever you want, but there's a lot of reasons to get a third party going here. But mostly just to stop these globalists. Hitlerian globalists like Trump, too. Very dangerous to our country's future. Very, very dangerous. Okay, so we're going to go into the video section tonight. Thank you very much. And watch shows tonight. Sounds like fun. And the trees are all dying. Wow. Who is least likely to start World War III, Trump or Hillary? I would say Shillery. Shillery is least likely to start World War III. World War III won't be something that they're going to want to start because they already did start it. It's been going on since 2000. You just don't know it. 2001. Obama collected $20 trillion in taxes, and he outspent the other presidents another $8.8 trillion. Obama overspent any of the other presidents, $8.8 trillion. And then here's a pesticide that's supposed to kill Zika. It has the same effect. So toxic it's banned in the EU. Wow, good one. That's Kafka, Winston World. Okay. Thank you for bringing these chat links in. Yeah. We add them to our list. These things go in a variety of lists I put together. These trees, the tree one is going into the new list as well as environmental list. Enviro. Excellent. Well, tonight will be the determining factor. Every night at 1:24, we've been DDoSed, shut down. The whole internet shut us down every night for the past 2 nights. So we'll see if we're going to last till 2 in the morning tonight. I think less likely with Shillery, no. I think Shillery is the one. Who cares if Bagface is mocking me, dude? Bagface is nobody. I'm the future president of the United States. Do you think I care? Jeez. Unbelievable. All right, so as we look forward to what we're doing here, we're going to say sayonara to more, oh my gosh, there's more incredibly bad things happening. Keeps coming. Oh, okay. So China, McDonald's is selling off portions of their ownership. Final bids for their North Asian stores, according to sources. Food giant McDonald's has received final offers from at least 3 bidding groups from its China and Hong Kong outlets. Carlyle Group is trying to take over McDonald's. It's worth up to $3 billion. Yeah, they're a takeover company, the Carlyle Group. Originally supported, if tacitly supported by George H.W. Bush. The Carlyle Group is one of the many buyout specialists that go out and buy out McDonald's. Can you imagine McDonald's selling out now because they can't make enough money? I've never been on Chatterbait. Pulse crisis actor Chris Hansen taking cue from a director during an interview. Thank you. We know these crisis actors have been going out there and putting amazing lies in front of the American people, and so many people I talk to say, oh yeah, it's horrible what happened to those homosexual men at that nightclub. Nobody died there. Even the list on Time magazine came from a hospice of dead AIDS victims in the Florida area. It's ridiculous. To believe that anybody died there, it was all so fake. So, we'll put that in false flags as well. Cool. Yeah, I'm just getting a little bit pissed off at this this world of fakery in the media. So, based on what I've seen, this is my full assessment. I believe that the fakery will continue. and they are going to continue to push Hillary out there. Hillary, it looks very close to Hillary. We'll be looking at that video talking about whether Hillary is replaced by a twin sister right now. And I'm going to say goodnight to you, all of you. We'll be back tomorrow for Technology Thursday at 5 p.m. We're going to try to run our show till 2 a.m. tonight, but we'll see if I get DDoSed again. We will see. But thanks again for coming in and participating. Sorry if I haven't responded to all your chat. It's difficult. Okay, adios. See you later tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, you're wondering where I'm going? My chair's on an elevator. It goes 16 floors down into my protected bunker.